Hello baby gangsters, this is Roma Reacts, and this is a series where I watch patrons submitted videos with all of you guys, and the first video sent in by Arcadia of Pride, and as I play, strategize to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. I can already tell this is going to be some sort of meme. Also, they said that they want me to watch the Dual Summoner Summit. I have so many plans to do this. Oh my god, I think it'd be so fun for me as well as a Yu-Gi-Oh fan to watch this. But yeah, we'll definitely add it to the React list. I think that'll be really, really fun to watch. Let's check this out. Oh no, I know this meme.
From my deck.
That's not what it does.
Roll my dice. That is what it does. Pot of Greed. Draw 3. I summon Pot of Greed.
All the
draw 3
Kokomis.
additional cards from my deck.
And Cyno taking it really
Greed
seriously.
To draw 3 additional cards from my deck. Then I play Magic Force, which allows me to play Pot of Greed once again to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
This is the best.
And no, he's right. And I attack and I win, right?
No.
You don't have any. Well, you don't have any monsters, and.
Oh, he's supposed to be here.
Dainsland.
Oh, you got the Celtic Guardian.
My turn. I summon Dark Magician.
Dark Magician.
I also summon Jack's Knight.
They got this so right. This is so funny.
What? How?
This is the
You
best.
can't summon a bunch of cards on one turn. It's against the rules.
You never saw this coming. I summoned
Pot of Greed.
Draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
That's not what it does. It doesn't
That
do
is
that.
what it does.
It is what it does.
That's what it do, Yugi.
That's what it do.
Does what it do.
That was so well done. I know that meme because obviously I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. Obviously I've seen that meme 100 times before, but like having it visualized that, especially with Cyno being the one who like is like taking it so seriously, makes perfect sense because we know that Cyno loves, absolutely adores the TCG game and like takes it so seriously and acts like I don't know, it's so funny. It's so funny. My jaw already hurts from laughing. This is a really funny way to start off Roma Reacts. It's so good. Yeah, we will watch that event, Arcadia Pride. Thank you so much for sending that in. My throat's gonna hurt already because I'm laughing so much and my face hurts. If you don't know the original meme, it's a really funny meme. You should definitely check it out. Just search I can't. Just search I play Pot of Greed and you'll probably find it. Thank you so much, Arcadia. The next video sent in by Azadraken is the Genshin Impact EP Farewell to an Upwind Feather. We're gonna have to recover. Give me a second. We'll have to recover. Okay. Okay, we got this. We got this. We got this. We got this. We definitely got this. Let's check this out. Now, let me see who this is by. It's by Genshin Impact, so it's official. It's official. Man, look at this. The respect they have for their characters to do this type of stuff with them is immense. And like the audience helps as well so much too. Vagrant and Wandering. You know what I mean? The audience helps so much with making their characters even stronger. And I think they know that too. This music is fantastic. It's so good. It's so freaking good. Like that. Oh my god. I mean, like again, look at just to pause it for a second because I don't want to interrupt the song. Look at the visuals here. Look at this. Insanely good. Like it's so good. Summit, like again, every place you've been to in Genshin is gonna have such a place in my heart. And I think there's something just like magical in each different place, right? And there's the Wandering there as well. There's something magical in each different place that every single song you hear from each area like has like a specific song and you're like, man, that takes me right back. I'm right back in there, you know? It's so interesting. Like even when I go to like Mondstat or Liyue Harbor and you're like, oh my god, I'm back here again. You just hear those songs. It's so good. So, this game is gorgeous, isn't it? This game is really pretty. You deserve a rest. You rest, hat man, hat guy. The bird again. Like I said before, I do believe that like there's two schools of thoughts in this. Nahida is watching over Vaughn by doing this, but also I think also at the same time, animals can also tell when someone has a good soul. And buried underneath all that anger, we see that's the story. You know, if you're following the story, buried underneath all that anger, there is a good soul. And we need to nurture it to come back out. That's all we need to do. 400 years of pain. You deserve a little rest. Look at this. A puff of cool breeze. And Nahida knows this, by the way. Nahida knows that after 400 years of pain, while there's like a lot of stuff that you have to do to rehabilitate stuff and to move forward and to only push forward and to lose the kind of like, oh, look at the bird. And to lose some of like the feelings that they had, you know, the kind of horrible feelings that they had. Just to pause this again, because I feel like I'm going to go back a bit because feel like I'm talking. I get so invested in Vaughn's story. But like to lose some of those feelings that they had, I think it's also like, it's this thing where like, we know in the story, he has a good soul. He has a good soul. And it's shown us that there is an effort to move forward. And I think it's always the best thing. When the bird moved out of the arm, it's so cute. Oh, it's so good. And like, I just think it's so soft him like resting there as well, you know? It's always nice getting these videos because like you get to hear like every single like tiny little thing, because you don't always like, you're hearing the music and you understand the music as you're playing the game, because that's where like, you know, you hear it for the first time. Then hearing it like this afterwards, you get to hear every like little tiny like instrument do their part so well. This song hits me like a ton of bricks. Look at this again, like the visuals of this are so good too. I just love seeing like relax here, like until it has look those angry eyes. This song is so good. It's probably my favorite Sumeru song, easily. And there's the bird again. Yeah, I would say like it could be like Nahida as well, right? Like at least watching over Vaughn. Oh my god, this song is so freaking good. It's a top 3 Genshin song for me for sure. I do appreciate, and like when we're talking about the angry eyes there as well, I do appreciate the fact that like they kept the anger in Vaughn's eyes, because like I think it would be such a disservice to that character to have them just have the happiest eyes after everything was done. They deserve to have happy eyes, but it doesn't make any sense for them to be instantly happy like right afterwards in every situation. You know what I mean? Such a beautiful song. Such a beautiful song. Beautiful stuff. Thank you so much, Azrak, for sending in. Yeah, like the music, when you hear it there, like it's like, of course it's always beautiful. Like every bit of music we like hear in this game is always like so freaking good. But I think like there was just like what we got out of that was like, you know, you get to hear every individual beat, you get to take back to those emotions as well. But also like I love the way they do the visuals of these videos, like, and it perfectly like describes, and it feels like, you know, it's like telling a story of like Vaughn, and maybe even Vaughn reminiscing or resting. We saw a lot of restful feelings there as well. Just really, really beautiful. Like a beautiful song. Thank you so much for beautiful songs, but the last song is my favorite of the 3 easily. Thank you so much for sending in, Azadrak. That was really, really awesome to see. The next video is sent in by Fizzle. And his dear, they sent in like a ship video. Okay. Excuse me, I'm not gonna hide in the bushes. We're gonna have. It's called Valentine Kazuskara. Kazuskara is a very popular ship in the Genshin community, and for me, one of the things that like I do love about people who maybe notice things about relationships or characters and like want to like either see them together or like have like this thing where they like they see the chemistry that could happen there. I think that's what's so cool about Genshin, because like so far I know it can get disrespectful. I've never seen like a disrespectful thing, at least in my community, but then again, my community is incredibly nice, so I always really love seeing this as well, because they are very sweet. They're incredibly sweet. That's what they are. It's sweet. Let's check this out. Already starting off with a beautiful way to write all these names. Oh my god, what again? Like it's like a pre-drawn art style, like the sketch, but like it's done very cleanly in a way. Like it's clean but dirty, if that makes sense. Oh my god, look at them! It's so sweet. And no one even has to know, 'cause tonight is the night. Would you like to be my Valentine? Oh, this is super sweet. Like the art style is so sweet as well. Was that? Oh, that was it. Oh my god! And then like, wait, no way. Are they? No, is that him tying up the strings on the outfit? Oh my god! Sweethearts. Absolutely sweet. The song is good too. And also the fact that you guys like ship two of my mains, by the way. Two characters I use all the time. I would say if you have the percent, they're in the top 5% of characters used all the time. Yeah, the art style is fantastic. It's beautiful. Ah! I love when they do this. I think you guys know I love that type of art, that style now. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. They're gonna kiss. You gonna kiss? You gonna kiss? Yeah, I can't get over how pretty the style is. Like it's just like as well. Like I feel like there it is. There it is. I feel like it's just like so sweet, right? And that's why like I would never like I never want to like ever like shy away from like whatever someone else like, because you know the thing is like, you know, people know like I like always think that like Tighnari and Cyno and Alhaitham and Kaveh like are the two main ones, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like it's just like it's an appreciation for like whatever chemistry you see, and also like it's like it's just this sweet thing. Like it's never like anything like, you know what I mean? It's just really sweet. And throughout the whole video you're just like, oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. And the art style is so beautiful. And the music is so nice as well. Like it's just a really, really, really nice thing. It's a really nice thing. And thank you so much for sending it in, Fizzle. It was really nice to see this stuff. And I actually like appreciate like how talented, I say it every week, how talented the Genshin community is. Because someone took a passion project like that and said, I want to see these two on the screen. I really do. And I want to, and not only that, but I want to see them kiss. You know what I mean? And like, and said, I'll do it. You know what I mean? I'll do it. And created this beautiful art style with this beautiful artwork in the background. The colors were beautiful. The style was beautiful. Like the little moments happening between here were really cool too. And the music fit also. Really, really cool video. Thank you so much for sending in, Fizzle. Fizzle also says his artist was shared to me before, which is really cool. I can tell because it's a similar art style to something I've seen before for sure. Thank you so much. The next video is sent in by Cat Sith. So I said I'll try to show you some of Yuki Kajiwara's music after another patron sent you the opening to Hack Sign. This here is one of the pieces that was used to the background music in the show. Hope this doesn't get blocked or anything. It's always a toss-up with anime music, 100%. But guys, don't worry about that whatsoever. My job here is to make sure that we get a video out. If stuff gets blocked, if it gets blocked like heavily, it gets sent to like if it gets blocked in everything, it will get sent to the patron directly. If it gets blocked in like one country, usually we upload it onto the Patreon, and there, you know, you can see it. It's usually only it's $1, and but like I always make sure to write in the post what country is blocked in. Please, I would feel so bad if someone pledged to see the videos and then you know, didn't get to see them. Let's check this out. The World. So this is an actual song, so it's on YouTube Music. Whoa. Whoa. Wow, you hear in the background as well? What even is that instrument? Is that like a... Is it just cymbals? Is that what it is? It's starting to really pick up, isn't it? It's really starting to pick up. Like the vocals are really, really haunting in a way. Super nice. Yeah, like this is actually very like yeah, this is like, you know, like they have a style, right, for this game, like, you know what I mean? And like I think the actual song itself is like it fits the actual style from what we've seen in the openings and the videos and stuff like this. I actually think they do a really good job of this. Like I wonder, like, again, like I've always seen this game from a distance, you know? I've always seen in the distance, you know what I mean? But I really feel like they have a specific style, because like it definitely feels like already like it is this game style in the best way possible, by the way. Great vocals, fantastic vocals. And always it's always different, because like to me, I like to see both. I love to see like the visuals, and I love to hear the music as well. And I think it's always like interesting just to like see you know, differences and stuff like that. Like because I feel like with the visuals and the music, it evokes a different emotion than just the music on its own, and like they're both incredibly good. Wow, it's really again, I got describing the vocals as haunting is what I can do. That's all I can do. It's actually, oh my god. Like right now I'm closing my eyes, by the way. And like the instruments are just as haunting as the vocals. Now, I can't quite understand the lyrics, but I do love how, like, it is, like, in the kind of verse part of it, it's kind of like this, like, very, like, kind of, like, it's not a murmur, it's like, you know, after here, it's not trying to overpower anything, like, or overpower the music, it's, like, trying to build back into something else. Here. You know what I mean? It's just flowing along. So good. And it's funny because, like, you know, for me, it's like I feel like I have like similar but different tastes with a lot of you in the Patreon audience, because what happens is that you guys will like send in stuff that I never heard of before, but you guys know that like I'm into JRPGs, I'm into anime, I'm into Genshin, I'm into Deltarune. So like what happens is like there's rarely a time where I'm like, this is either not that this is bad. Like rarely ever there's a time where I'm like I'm disinterested, and there's rarely ever a time where we have like something like that is like not at the base level interesting to know, you know? It's really cool. Lovely ending. Lovely ending. Yeah, like I'll have to like check out more of it, because like what happens is, and like, you know, it's how many times like because like, and everything catches up on me as well, because that was beautiful, but like I'll be like, oh, I'll check this out, and then like by the time like a few days rolls around, like so much has happened in between then in your life that you're like, oh, I didn't check that out, and you're like, it's like, no, but I'll have to definitely check it out, you know. Thank you so much for sending in, Catsid. Like, again, like, I feel like I'm getting to know all of your tastes, and I feel like a lot of them align with mine with stuff that I've actually been interesting, because I actually love the character designs in Hack Sign. I actually think that the visuals look really cool too, and now, like, all the music I've heard is also fantastic also. Really, really neat. Thank you so much for sending in. And the next video is sent in by Absurdly Odd Studios, and it's a Deltarune fan-made video. Let's check it out. Deltarune, which I adore. Undertale, which I adore. I have gotten a few questions about the Deltarune newsletter, and I feel like maybe Absurdly has asked me about it as well. Of course, I'm definitely gonna read it. I can't wait to actually read it. It's just obviously like I think it's just like sometimes you know things get away from you and things like that. But that will be happening, and I appreciate everyone asking for it again, because again, sometimes people are like, I hope it's not annoying to ask you this stuff, because I get comments being like, I hope it's not annoying to ask you this question. And I will say this now. Asking questions about like where certain videos might be and like where certain stuff is every YouTuber should love that. Every person who does YouTube should freaking love that. Because what it shows is someone is interested enough to ask. And that's awesome. It's point we see together as wanderers of the dark. Where are you headed, young one? Oh, just like the Deltarune style. To explore the vast ocean of time. That's what we do in these depths. Let's go, friend. It's very... So you're the one who comes from the light, aren't you? It's been a very long time since I've seen one of your kind. But recently, all sorts of things have been changing down here. I suppose a new face should be of no surprise to me. You're looking for your friends? I see. We have an important matter on our hands, don't we? It's been long since I've seen my own. It's the least I could do for a new one. For a new friend? Make yourself comfortable, friend. It's a long, dark journey ahead of us. I've never felt the desire to visit the Evergross myself. Though I hear connections to it have been shut down to the recent phenomena. Like, it's a whole, like, new thing. Some of my friends have traveled out there many years ago. That would be, unfortunately, the last time I'd see them. And a lot of times, like, Toby Fox has said, like, a lot of the fan-made stuff is just as good as, like, maybe not just as good, but, like, it's like, you could sometimes indistinguishable with something Toby Fox would make. Undertale Yellow, perfect example. It exists as long as time, but I spend my days sailing these waters, singing my songs. So there is a song too. Very cool. But it had like, but I think it's super freaking cool that it's not just a fan song. It's like literally like a whole, it's something that would happen in Undertale and Deltarune. My below the stars. My world has changed. And it's stranger than before. I don't want to ruin the song, by the way. The music is beautiful. Even still, I row along. This is gorgeous. My world is changed. And I don't mind. That's a great lyric. I've got a raft with me. Oh my god, that's such a good lyric. What the hell? Your destination is right up ahead. That's so neat. That I added just this little song to it. Be careful, friend. My world has changed, but I have a raft with me. It's like endless possibilities. Fantasy like water. Swimming is safe, but submerging yourself for too long is dangerous. Beautiful line. I can't get over... Oh, it's actually literally over now. I can't get over how, like, actually pretty this thing is, and, like, how it felt like it was, like, actually a part of the actual game itself. It really did. Thank you so much for sending in. That was actually really cool. I think that, like, one of the reasons why I love fan stuff so much, and it happens in all these games, but, like, with the Undertale and Deltarune fan base, they, like, create new... Like, it feels like they're creating sections of the games we haven't seen. And that's something so special. It hasn't been a thing... Like not every game can do this because it's much harder, like, you know, to do this. Actually, the Genshin community do a lot where they'd make, like, really funny videos with the stuff too. And they make fan animations as well that feels like separate parts of the game as well. But, it's also, like, with this, it just feels like this could have been ripped out of Deltarune. It really does. Really, really great to see as well. Thank you so much for sending in, Absurdly Odd Studios. The next video is sent in by Dodo Dan. And it is Monster Hunter Lore Basil Geese. Basil Geese, maybe? Let's check out Basil Geese. Let's go.
Hunters as the bombarding wyvern. Basil Geese
known
to us hunters as the bombarding wyvern. Basil Geese invades our hunts with an explosive aerial assault. Because of Basil's rather violent entrances into our hunts, its music and its air raid siren roar often trigger a hunter's instant dung pod. What's up guys, Chris here and welcome to another very exciting video. Just as this B-52 bomber showers us with explosives, in a similar fashion our sponsor showers us with support, and we greatly appreciate them.
Get your bag.
This video is brought to you by the Rich Wallet.
Get your
Its
bag.
light, sleek, and industrial design is ideal for everyone who doesn't have much space in their pocket. It holds up to 12 cards, plus room for cash.
Heck yeah.
Each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. The Rich team is so confident you like it that they give out a 45 days money-back guarantee with free worldwide shipping and returns. You can get 10% off today by going to rich.com/TDS, that's rich.com/TDS, and enter the code TDS. Link in the video description.
Bro, get your
Basil
bag.
Geese's name
Make your money.
is derived
Do it.
from the word Betelgeuse,
They're
which has
Betelgeuse.
two significant meanings. The first is a star within the constellation of Orion. Betelgeuse is usually the 10th brightest star we can see in the night sky from Earth. It has a diameter of roughly 1.2 billion kilometers. That is about 1,000 times bigger than the Sun, and its luminosity is 100,000 times that of the Sun. It belongs to the category of stars called the red supergiants because of how massive it is. Since Betelgeuse is such a massive star, it has a very short lifetime. It is suspected to explode with a supernova relatively soon.
Wow.
The second meaning is that the name Betelgeuse was used for a nuclear weapons test in France in 1966.
Jesus. It's also a character in ReZero.
So, Betelgeuse definitely lives up to both of these references.
Le champignon était énorme.
In the New World, Basil isn't actually discovered until high rank, and even then it doesn't receive its own hunt at first. Instead, it is spotted in the wild when it invades other hunts. Because of that, the guild was curious to discover the origins of the monster. Upon further research, it was discovered that Basil's main form of transportation isn't the same type of flying that other monsters use to move between areas. It is specifically low-altitude gliding. This led the
like
guild to
Spyro.
believe that Basil
It's like the way Spyro doesn't fly, he glides. That's pretty cool.
born in areas of high elevation, such as the highest peaks in the
Which would make
Alps
sense,
region.
easier to glide.
It is from
Yeah,
regions like
very
this
cool.
that Betelgeuse would be able to survey almost the entirety of the New World and glide efficiently to get to its destination and fight its prey. The guild also believes the Elder's Recess is Basil's home territory due to one peculiar behavior. When observing it in the Elder's Recess, the guild noticed instances where Basil rubs its blasting scales along the ground, presumably marking its territory. The monster only performs this act
Wait, can
in
you,
the
and
Elder's
you can
Recess
like that's so
and
cool that they actually like show the actual action itself. Like a cat will rub itself against you, you know?
Where Basil rubs
Look at
its
that.
blasting scales along the ground, presumably marking its territory. The monster only performs this act in the Elder's Recess and nowhere else. In an excerpt from the book called Theories of the New World Ecology, it is stated
There's a
that
monster in your
Betelgeuse
book?
started
I mean,
appearing
it's such
in
an
other
expansive
regions
world
of
now.
the New World after the Elder Crossing drastically altered the ecology of said regions. This is because the Betelgeuse are trying to take control from the apex monsters of each region to make these territories their own.
Okay.
Betelgeuse essentially considers all the first main regions of the New World as its own territory.
Mine.
And it will defend them with immeasurable stubbornness.
So sick.
If a Betelgeuse spots an intruder, it will immediately attack, only to stop when its prey's life has ended.
Yeah, you tell
or
him.
if it has been chased out of the area.
I'm already so
Betelgeuse
supportive of
hostility
these
towards
guys.
Other monsters have led it to have territorial conflicts with another well-known invader, the famous Pickle Deviljho. Hunters will often see these two monsters locked in combat, trying to prove which is the strongest and angriest. Although, according to the Monster Hunter World Complete Works book, the guild considers them to be equal in strength. If explosive bombardment is what you seek, then look no further than Betelgeuse blasting scales. While the commission calls these bombs blasting scales or explosive scales, scientifically they would be considered glands.
Clans.
Glands are organs that produce substances or fluids which perform specific functions.
I love the art style
underside
of Monster Hunter
Betelgeuse's
sometimes.
body is actually covered in
Everything
a
I see is
large
also
number
good.
of glands, which secrete
So
a
the-
unique fluid. This fluid
Oh.
hardens and expands the outermost
Oh.
layer of the gland's
Oh.
membrane, transforming it into what the commission calls a blasting or explosive
wait.
scale. As the
Explosive
Betelgeuse
glands.
moves, these blasting scales will naturally fall off its body. This substance is continuously secreted, and even after blasting scales are dropped, reserves on Basil's body are replenished very quickly. If the blasting scales are exposed to air for a certain period of time or hit by an outside force, they will
Wait, so just
explode.
oxygen?
When engaging an enemy, Basil
We're
uses
doomed.
these bombs to its advantage. Since the Basil's main form of flying is gliding, it will glide over the enemy and shower their vicinity
That's insane.
with these explosive scales.
You're done.
Basil will then either
Look at him.
descend straight into or charge into these blasting scales and detonating them with its own body. One might think that Basil should be damaged by its own explosions, but it is actually protected from these impacts due to a thick shell and an extra layer of heat-resistant skin under its normal scales.
Okay.
In addition, while Basilgeuse mostly relies on its body for detonation, it is not the only method it will use. Basilgeuse will occasionally breathe fire from its mouth to detonate its explosive scales. Exposure to extreme heat will cause the blasting scales to detonate in the same way that oxidation or strong shocks would. However, Basil does not use his fire breath very often since it does not have a flame sac. A flame sac, such as the one that Rathalos possesses, contains fine flammable particles that a monster uses as a constant source to expel.
But they don't have this.
But Basil only has an explosive gland within its mouth.
Wait.
And it uses that to create its fire breath.
So it's like it explodes in their mouth and they like push it out with the oxygen as well?
Basil's
Or the air?
blasting scales and their properties change when the monster enters its red-hot state. When Basil is enraged, the area around its scales
Cool drawing.
has a bright red glow. As Basil's blood
I like
pressure
when monsters do this because it lets me know they are angry. You know what I mean? For real. You know what I mean? It lets you know something's about to change.
rises in
Thank
its
you.
enraged state, its body temperature does as well and creates this glow. Unlike most monsters, Basil is not angry in the typical sense, but its enraged state is similar to receiving high adrenaline from battle. It is quite similar to the Saiyan race from Dragon Ball Z. and
Right.
the
So it's not angry in terms of like, you robbed my last Snickers. It's angry in a sense. I know it sounds like it's trivializing it, but I'm trying to explain it in a way that I can understand it too. It's angry in a way that I guess it's like more of like a power up or like like adrenaline, yeah.
From fighting and beating their rivals or enemies. While in this red-hot state, the monster's blasting scales are extremely unstable and explode immediately on impact with the ground. This state also causes Basil's metabolism to spike, which hastens the production of the fluid it needs to produce more blasting scales. This allows Basil to instantaneously replenish any depleted blasting scales. Its variant is the shiny boy, Seething Basil, and it was introduced in Iceborne. One of the most notable differences is Seething Basil is no longer nomadic. It does not invade the other regions of the New World and stays remote in the Eldest Recess.
Huh.
In the events of Iceborne, the Commission investigates unusual seismic activity caused by Shara Ishvalda that is disrupting the ecosystem of the New World. Seething Basil's desire to remain in the Eldest Recess rather than invade other regions, like its normal counterpart, is most likely linked to this seismic activity. The other
So
major difference
it doesn't want to leave because of like all the seismic activity. Like maybe it's worried
is Seething's blasting skills. The hunter's notes explain
because it's not. I'll skip it back here. Sorry, because it's not a. It doesn't fly. It's on the ground most of its life.
Counterpart is most likely linked to this seismic activity. The other major difference is Seething's blasting scales. The hunter's notes explain that the blasting scales of Seething Basil burn hotter than normal, which can be seen on their bluish coloration. They also have a wider explosion radius as time passes. Its body naturally produces a substance the Commission calls distilled blast fluid, a material only dropped by Seething Basil in-game. This fluid reacts to the monster's adrenaline and progressively causes the blasting scales to become more combustive the longer Seething Basil is in its enraged state. As this enhancement reaches its peak, the monster's explosive scales glow a bright purplish color rather than simply red. Since Basil's name is derived from the Betelgeuse star, this new glow could be a direct reference to the origins of its name. As mentioned earlier, Betelgeuse is a red supergiant star, and it glows a really red color. But the interesting detail which could be a reference to this monster is, the hotter and heavier a star is, the more blue it will be. Seething Basil's glow may be purplish since it's a mixture of red and blue heat.
So trying to relate the colors here as well.
More explosive, just like with heavier stars in the universe. The hottest and heaviest blue stars are the ones that live the shortest before they explode.
I love seeing
stars
this real
all
world
across
stuff being
our
used as well.
universe work like nuclear fusion
Supergiant.
reactors. They create energy and heat by burning their fuel or elements and consuming gradually heavier and heavier elements until the last element is burned. Once the heaviest element is consumed, the star will transition into a supernova. And all of these heavy elements are compiled in the middle of the star, where it's the hottest temperature.
Okay.
Because they create more heat when used for fusion. Blue stars will burn through this fusion process much faster than red stars, hence why their lives are so short in comparison to stars like, for example, our sun. We call stars like our sun G-stars because they have a
Again,
decent
this is stuff I didn't even know whatsoever.
mass, and they're not too heavy and not too light. There's no way that Betelgeuse could ever reach an age of 4.6 billion years, the one of our sun. All of this is really interesting, and it could explain why the blasting blue scales of seething basalt produce explosions around twice the size and power of normal red blasting scales.
Because is it because like they're like what he's saying is that like they may be more powerful and they may be stronger and they burn brighter, but they're not going to last as long?
Because a blue star has more mass and ends up likely in a more devastating supernova explosion. Oh, also, editing Chris here. My newest research have found out that all of this, of the more massive and more energy-rich stars that have a shorter lifespan, basically they will explode faster but when they die, could be related to these blasting scales of seething basalt. If you notice that they also explode faster. So the normal basalt blasting scales, they drop down on the ground and it takes some time for them to heat up to eventually explode, but the seething basalt scales, they really
it's interesting. I think it's you should always they only take a few seconds.
Yeah, they're already glowing. So yet another reference to how stars are actually working, and basalt just being this
so much effort in this video. It looks really
really
great too.
More glowing monster, just like stars. Finally, seething basalt has a new nova attack where the monster will take to the sky, spread purplish blasting scales across the area, and do a barrel roll before diving down to create a massive explosion. This is exactly what stars in the universe do.
It's just the move alone is insane.
Purplish blasting scales across the area and do a barrel roll before diving down to create a massive explosion.
Like imagine like landing on all the glands itself. Like what would that would do?
What stars in the universe do before they explode. They also perform a barrel roll.
Wait, did you?
No, that's a joke.
Oh.
Ultimately,
I was like, holy
its
crap, this
seething
is another
barrier
thing I didn't know.
Quite a fiery impact on the world of Monster Hunter. It's impossible to deny how interesting their biology and relation to astrophysics really is. We hope you guys liked this video. Let us know down below which monster you would like to see next, as we're slowly coming towards the end of the first season of our lore series. Again, if you would like to see this series continued, feel free to check out our Patreon page. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Fantastic.
Peace.
Again, I love seeing this type of stuff. There's all the patrons. You're doing a fantastic job, patrons. You're doing a fantastic job. I love seeing that type of stuff just because, like, again, I don't know much about Monster Hunter, like, and I would say that, like, you know, Dodo Dan has been, like, my Monster Hunter guide almost with all this stuff. And, like, while I, like, always, like, sometimes will, like, not understand everything that's going on in Monster Hunter, like, I could hold a conversation now because of Dodo Dan. Because of Dodo Dan, I can hold a conversation about Monster Hunter now. No, but I love that as well. Like, what was so interesting about that to me is that, like, there's a creature in Monster Hunter. First of all, that, like, I love the gliding aspect, that they couldn't glide. Like, they couldn't fly, so they glide around the place, kind of like Spyro. But that adds to their kind of, like, character. Like, again, the story of a monster, like, while they're not moving to different ecosystems now, because there's, like, seismic activity, which would make sense, because if you're a flying creature, you might not worry too much about that. But if you're on the ground all the time, that's something you have to worry about. I love the relation to real life things as well. Just a really well presented video as well. Those glands are disgusting and terrifying at the same time. Absolutely disgusting and terrifying. And Monster Hunter has some of the most craziest monsters I've ever seen in my existence. They do such a good job of, like, presenting these monsters as something to be, you know, genuinely horrified at, as you should be, because that's what they are. They are terrifying. But yeah, like, I think as well, like, what is, like, so special so far, at the very least, about the monsters I've seen is that they all have their own, like animals, they have their own ecosystem, they have their own area they live in, their own style. And this monster is protecting its own ecosystem to the point that it's like, anyone who comes in here, I will absolutely wreck you. I will destroy you. And I was rooting for it all the way, as I will continue to root for any creature like that with the defends their home area like that. Really, really sweet stuff. Really, really sweet stuff to see. Had a blast watching that, Dodo Dan. Thank you so much. A blast! Dodo Dan! A blast! Thank you so much. And, like, that goes, like, you know, for me, like, when it comes to the patrons, like, it's the same thing with, like, the story of evil. It's the same thing with all that stuff. It's the same thing with the story of evil. It's the same thing with, like, some of the Genshin stuff that I've seen as well. the anime that sometimes people send in, the Honeyworks stuff that's been sent in. It's like I have like guides through these worlds that I've never seen before, and like I never would have seen, and now I get to see them. Like my whole life I never saw them, and now I actually get to see them. Really, really cool stuff. Very, very happy that I got to see this stuff. The next video is sent in by Hiyori, and it is a opera singer / voiceover friend react official character demo. So I wonder if this is actually like Fischl's... it's an interview with Fischl's VA. That's really cool. Fischl, who is a fantastic character, one of the greatest of all time. Let's check this out.
Hi, my name is Marco. I'm a former opera singer turned voice actor. Today we're going to be listening to the official character demo from Genshin Impact, but I have a surprise for you. Because with me is the voice actor who plays Fischl, Brittany Cox. Hi, Brittany.
Hi! Hey,
fantastic.
Everybody. I'm so excited to be here. Marco, thank you so much for inviting me. This is going to be so much fun.
So sweet.
I can't
She's
wait.
so sweet.
Yeah,
Voice is one of the greatest characters ever created.
And have you heard this music before, Brittany, or are you kind of diving in?
I am diving in blind because most people know I haven't played Genshin yet. And so I'm like, this is all new to me.
When was this created? 2 years ago. Okay, so...
Yeah, I haven't played it either, but people love it. Let's dive in.
I think it's interesting, like, the idea of, like, not playing a game that you, like, voiced in, and I think that's, like, for, like, a lot of people. Like, especially people like Brittany Cox who, like, voice act probably quite a bit. Like, and I've heard, like, you know, like, the most famous voice actors in history, you know, if you ask them, like, did you see every single thing that you voiced in, even, like, cartoons and stuff like this, they'd be like, no. You know what I mean? I don't watch everything I do a voice for, so it's not totally abnormal.
And we're going to listen to both sections. We got the Overture der Ewigen Nacht, which sounds a lot like the Queen of the Night, Ewige Nacht, you know, from Die Zauberflöte by Mozart. And then we've got Sie an mein Sommernachtgarten. That's just me flexing my German.
Oh my God.
Very good.
You said, like, my German is terrible because Fischl speaks a lot of German, and, like, that sounded pretty similar. I was like, I know
that works for the character, though. That works for the character.
So I'm really
I
actually
love Fischl
curious
so much
to see, like, how much of a comparison there is. Like, the Queen of the Night in Magic Flute is this type of, you know, she is
this is exciting.
Sort of the evil villain.
This
of the
is exciting.
character. I'm pretty sure Fischl's not an evil villain, but
Never.
there is
Ever.
definitely I'm just in the name alone, there's a lot of similarities, because does she control the night or like some sort of like dark elements?
She controls a lot of dark stuff. And like, I mean, when you look at her outfit, she's wearing like all black and everything. And she has he's not a pet, more like a familiar raven who kind of translates for her because she speaks in very elevated speech. If you're a fan of Shakespeare, it would sound kind of similar.
So yeah, she's wearing purple, but I feel like that's such a nitpick to correct that, because I feel like, you know, she probably means more like in terms of like a spiritual sense as well, of
and
like
so
the
he
color
kind of
tones and
breaks
things
it
like this,
into
you know.
more modern colloquial.
She does wear black as well,
that's
along
fun.
with purple
Okay,
though.
that's
So like
cool.
it's so
Well,
like,
sweet.
you know.
Well, let's just dive in. And
I think we associate purple with Fischl, but there is black on her clothes for sure. There are, yeah.
And we'll take a listen to this together, and then we'll talk about it.
Sounds fun.
All right, let's do it.
Holy hell, man. Oh my god, man, it's so good. I'm sorry, but like, it's so good. Oh man. Like, and again, like, I love that, like, with the theme song, I'm sorry to interrupt, like, these two, you know, bopping along to this, but the theme song that goes along with it, like, with the character demos, and, like, also, like, with, like, the music that, like, associates with Fischl, is, like, it's taken very seriously, which I freaking love. Like, they could have gone a whole other route with Fischl, and, like, had, like, her character demos and her teasers have music that's, like, you know, like, making fun of the fact that she is, like, you know, a big theater kid, you know, she is, like, big theater kid energy. They could have made fun of that fact, but no, they take it very seriously. They give her some of the best music, and, like, it really just shows a respect for, like, Fischl's wishes, I feel like, sometimes, you know? It's a respect for the character, I feel like. That's so good! Because you can, like, have fun with your character and make fun of them sometimes while also respecting them and, you know, their story. organ, like the organ. And when I think organ, I think tormented soul. You know what I mean? I think someone who is like, you know, waiting in the darkness, you know? But then there's like a lot of movement to this as well, which Fischl, like, if you've seen her use her bow, she has so much like fantastic footwork and movement when she fights people, and she's so dramatic with everything, and the music fits that perfectly as well. Like, and this is what I'm saying. You can have parts of the song like this that are like so interesting to me, because it's like you have this big epic tune, because that is Fischl, but also Fischl is a very funny, bubbly character. So that's what I mean when you can have like a comedy where you respect, like where it's a joke, not a joke, but it's like, it's funny to laugh with the character, you know, when Fischl messes up her words. The way she walks around the place. Like, this music fits that perfectly, the way she walks around acting as if everyone is subordinates when really she means friends. But also take the other aspects incredibly seriously, you know what I mean? Because that's like a respect for Fischl and her wishes and what she wants, which is what the Adventurers Guild and Mondstat does for Fischl all the time. They accept who she is and they go along with what she wants. You know, you can see Fischl walking around talking to people through the song here, this track, the part here, you know? Like, it's a very conversational Fischl theme, this part.
Wow, that's fun. It's got such a like, it's so playful, but also like very like this sort of determined energy to it, you know what I mean?
No, he said it way
seems
better
like
than I
a
did.
very,
Way better than I did, yes.
Capable person and a fighter who like
way better than I did.
It's interesting. You have this like broody organ music in there, and yet then we also have this playful accordion thing going on. So, you know, I'm sort of curious from your perspective, based on the characterization that you know, what her character is all about. You know?
No, but to me, like, this is like he said it. Marco said it way better than I could have said it. There is like a playfulness and a determination in it as well. And I suppose I described it as like, you know, respecting both sides of the character. But he said it so perfectly.
I'm sort of curious, like, how it fits within the music and those two parallels.
It's so interesting because, like, I love how you hit the nail on the head. Like,
yeah.
She has this dark thing about her. You know, I almost like to think she like lives in the shadows, even though she's a very like friendly,
theater kid energy
character, but she's very snarky sometimes. But so a little backstory about her is she is from another world. She's one of the few characters from another world, and her kind of super backstory is she imagines herself as this prinzessin, and this
oh
is
my god,
she is playing.
Hold on.
And her kind of super backstory is she imagines herself as this prinzessin.
It's so perfect. It's so perfect.
She is playing a character in from her favorite book series. Is kind of how that is. So she's put on this whole thing of like, I'm the prinzessin, and
you're so talented.
Yeah, and her familiar Oz just kind of keeps her in check.
Yeah, plays on both.
What's amazing about this soundtrack is just the like care and detail that's paid to each.
Yeah, and when I say theater kid energy, that's what I mean. Fischl has the energy of someone who will, you know, like, you know, you ever made like a theater kid when they're like, oh, it's like, what's your name? It's like, oh, my name is, you know. And this isn't an insult, by the way. It's just that I like grew up around theater kids. You know, I was in the theater myself, and like one of the things that like it's like that happens is like you'll talk to someone, and once every like play that you're involved in, you'll see someone be like, you know, hi, I'm you know, Mary, but you can call me Starborn. And it's like, okay, your name's Starborn. Because again, I'm like, whatever you want me to call you, I'm going to call you that. You know what I mean? Like, that's fine. Like, it's none of my business. But you know what I mean? It's a very, like, playful, like, hey, like, this is who I am right now. This is who I'm being. And this is who I feel like I am. And it's a really cool like thing that they did for official, because I think we all noticed like the theater kid energy
and how the characters really are fleshed out within the music, and there's you really get like a sense of personality, and also I'm really intrigued as to why
Mark, you get it so much.
There are these moments of real intensity in here. I just love, again, this juxtaposition between the like playful, when you said it, I mean the playfulness of the accordion mixed in with this very intense organ, and so and I wonder why,
so
in
good
the characterization, why there is that sort of intensity with that organ sound and da 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 da. I don't know.
In the story, like, I mean, they have multiple different stories that happen throughout Genshin, and so different things that happen. But she is very, a lot of her stuff is about protecting the world and protecting people. Like, she calls them her subjects.
Yeah.
So
in the most lovely way possible, subjects.
Kick butt, take care of people, but also doesn't take nonsense from anybody. So I think that's where that dark comes in. And then the playfulness is the fact that she's not really a princess. In her brain, she's a princess. And
but she is a princess to all of us.
Just ridiculous things. I mean, when you first meet her first line, and this kind of gives you an
she gonna do the line?
An insight into her character.
Do the line?
When she introduces herself, she's like, I, Fischl, Princess Underverurtelang, descend upon this land by the call of fate, and oh, you are also a traveler from another world?
Oh my god!
Very well. I grant you permission to travel with me.
This is the best.
She's like, has this very...
It's like, and I think like as well, like, like this person knows her character, better than I ever could. But I suppose it's also 2 years ago. Like when the summer event came out for Inazuma's summer event, the interesting thing about that was that, like, you had she said super backstory for Fischl, and I feel like those darker tones in her music definitely come from the fact that like a lot of her like playfulness is also like weaved within darkness as well, and the darkness inside of her as well, and coming to terms with who she is as a person, and the sadness she felt, growing up also. Like I feel like there is like such a depth to Fischl's character that like it almost like sometimes is like a little bit painful that they don't give her a full on like epic moment in like the Archon, which like, you don't always need this, by the way, because like some hangout characters have some of the best stories. You saw that with like Farazan. But you kind of wish that she would have her own like little thing that you could refer to, I suppose, when it comes to Fischl. That's my perspective anyway.
Elevated speech that's ridiculous, but very serious.
Oh yeah.
Huh. That is so interesting. I mean,
you don't know
you really
she's the
that.
best.
I think it's so cool. It's important to listen to music outside of the context of the game, because it allows us as like listeners to sort of create our own interpretations. But then to like, to have you here talking about the characterization and choices that you've made, and choices that have been, worked out together with the director and with the company and with the game, like it all sort of like coalesces into this beautiful thing. And one of the big things about this channel is just the idea that we can listen to music out of context, but it is also incredibly fun when like the two link up and merge into one thing. And so it just
goes to show you how like detailed and intricate every stage of the process is. Like,
oh my god, yes,
exactly, because I've watched
this is so interesting.
Of your other videos, and the fact that you can pull all these amazing details out of just the music, which gives you an idea of the characters and the story and kind of what's going on, without even having seen or experienced any of it. And then when you add in the other layer of the actual characters and what you're seeing on screen, it just makes it even more amazing and compelling, I feel like. Because I mean, without music, it wouldn't be as fun or as interesting.
No, for sure.
Music
and
makes video games.
Because I mean, like, if you think about it, if I was harkening back to the Magic Flute, and it's amazing how we look at the evolution of classical music, but also music in general. And, you hear, there's also there's a guitar, I believe it's electric guitar in here. And we're using like, classical instruments, but we're also like shifting into this future focused direction. And I really do think that video game music should be taken super seriously, because like this is the
oh my god, I love you.
So many composers.
I love you.
We're like, where are the modern composers?
I love
where
you.
Are the modern composers? But like, you see that they're right here. I mean, you could absolutely listen to this in a symphony hall.
Oh my god,
cool
I love you.
And
you're so right.
it's fun to like hear it and then also like get the like, what's it called, the primary source on what it is. So
no, I mean, I think it's super fun. And I mean, as a big, rock fan, having that electric guitar, I'm like, oh my God, they did it for me. Oh, which of course they didn't. Of course they didn't. They wrote this way before I came on the project. But, I'm just like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, they're all like that. I mean, gosh, every single one I've listened to so far has had this sort of like epic second phase, or like this epic.
There is such a clash though, isn't there? Like like they said in most songs of like different genres and things like that.
I've mostly been listening to Villains, but like
Yeah.
it's crazy how all and also traditional Eastern Chinese instruments like the erhu are really present in some of these, like in the Azdaha theme. That sort of elevate it when we have this beautiful mix of Western, like a German character, but then you've also got this sort of Eastern, sort of holdings that are very important. And I've always said this about every one of these pieces. There's such a
Can you imagine being this passionate and not playing Genshin? Like that's what how good the music is.
That I think is also like super educational, even as a listener, to be like, wow, it's so cool. They're combining all these different things. And yeah, and of course, yes, we have the electric guitar. We've got, we're rocking out. So it's yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Well, it gives little nuggets for like exactly what you said, us with more of a Western ear to catch on to like, oh, my ear, I know guitar stuff, like that stuff I can be drawn towards and understand from my very limited musical knowledge. But then I'm learning something new about different instruments and, more of the
great point.
melodies and things
great point.
That are more prevalent in Eastern
Who would have thought the
culture,
voice actor
which
is also
so
the smartest person in the world as well, along with Fischl?
Makes me more excited to like listen to more things and expand my musical knowledge.
Yeah. No, it's so true. And every time I hear this music, I'm always like, as a huge gamer, I'm also like, maybe I should play Genshin Impact.
Yes,
because there is such a. It's so fun when a musical language is like a really diverse and rich musical language is also supporting a game. You know what I mean? So thanks, Brittany. I really appreciate you coming on, and I really appreciate you being here. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's so good to see your face,
Yeah.
and this was so much fun, and I'm so happy that you invited me.
Great bubbly personality. Exactly what you want.
I was like, oh, well, I know exactly who to invite. So I was thrilled that you said yes. So I appreciate that. Anyway, that's it for me. If you want to request a song or support the channel, feel free to check out the Patreon, but there's never any pressure, of course. And as always, thank you so much, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. See you later.
Much appreciated. Honestly, like what they said to, like, again, I feel like he said so many good things about Fischl that like made perfect sense. But I feel like, more than anything, Fischl is like a character who is, very playful, but has a very serious tone to her. But I think like one thing I want to focus on, because like there's so much we could talk about like there with Fischl and stuff, but the one thing I mainly want to focus on is the idea that like, modern composers are in video games. Like if any classical composer listened to the Dark Souls like 3 soundtrack, like they would be like, holy hell. If you literally sat down like Mozart, or any like Beethoven, anyone like who is like classically trained, like a unbelievably like legendary like composer, and sat them down and showed them the Dark Souls 3 soundtrack, they would be like, holy hell. You know what I mean? It is like one of the greatest like things about video game music is that like people can, laugh at all they want and maybe not take it seriously. But like some of the best like rock tracks I've heard have been from like video games in the past, like in the past like 25 years. Some of the best rock tracks, some of the best like pop tracks, some of the best like hip hop tracks have been heard from like music. Like it's so incredible, video game music. It's so incredible that this stuff can happen. And this is a great video just to see like Fischl's voice actor and put it like a name to the face as well. But also like, just a fantastic voice actor in general. Like how she switched in between the stuff official there. And I love as well, like both of them have not played the game, but they have an understanding of like official, one from playing the character and the other one from listening to the music. And that's how good Genshin is. You can just listen to the music and totally understand like who the character is. Thank you so much for sending in, Yuri. That was awesome to see. The next video is sent in by Leanne. And it is, they both reach for the gun, Yuji and Chozo. So this is a Jujutsu Kaisen video, which I adore Jujutsu Kaisen a lot. Let's go. Jujutsu Kaisen is, huh? Holy hell.
Let me hear it.
Obviously, like, I want to say, obviously, before this starts, clearly spoilers for Jujutsu Kaisen, but, like, you should probably know that already and skip past this if that's the case. It's, you know, if you haven't seen Jujutsu Kaisen, this is going to be, like, major spoilers. Major spoilers. So please skip past this. But it goes without saying, I think. This is so interesting because it's the Chicago song, obviously, but, like, with Chozo and Yuji Itadori. Oh, there's our boy. There's our boy. Punish Yuji. Holy hell. This whole fight scene, by the way, before we go any further, is one of the most incredible fight scenes I've ever seen in a show. Like, not only just like the moves themselves, but the way they worked, like, the actual scene and the composition of the scene. It's incredible. This is so sick. It's so sick. And like again, like the editing of this as well, like and like oh. Vocal's great, by the way. This whole scene, look at this! The editing in this! And like the torture that goes along with the scene, by the way. Great. Great stuff. Oh my god. I haven't heard the dub voice. It's actually not bad for Chozo. Actually not bad. But I'm not someone who hates dub stuff, to be honest. So freaking cool. This is what I'm talking about. The composition of this scene, by the way, is absolutely incredible. They do such a good job with this. No, like, absolutely freaking incredible. Right? I love when people do that stuff. It like, and again, now I'm all hyped up and I have this adrenaline, not from just, maybe just from like, obviously hearing like the cool Chicago song that we already heard as well. I think What's Your Damage sent in the actual version of the Chicago song a few weeks back. But also, it's like this adrenaline that pumps through me with like that scene. Jujutsu Kaisen in general, like Jujutsu Kaisen makes me feel so many different emotions, and seeing it edited like that is so cool. Thank you so much for that, Leanne. That was really cool to see. And like, I adore both Chozo and Yuji. Adore them. And like Yuji especially is just like a character who like I want to hug so badly. I really want to hug so badly. The next video is sent in by Xiaolao, and it is the Maiden of the Tree, Millennium Visionlight, English Romaji, and it's no CC needed. Also, the other half of the story nearby, Claret, the Daughter of the White's Name. By the way, they all have names. So this is the Claret, the Daughter of White's Name. Okay, let's check it out. So, this has been... We remember this horrible, horrible, sad story about the girl with the white hair. And it seems like it's a different side to the story as well. And she did get a friend, and then what the Daughter of Evil do? Like, this lady is strong. This lady is, in the end, this lady was stronger than I could ever be. So strong. A whimsical sorceress. Wait, so did we get that context last time? Just want to see that again. That she turned a bird into, like, did I just miss that whole aspect? I could have. that lady was actually like a Bud? Wait. A very different tone from what we've been seeing for the last while, for sure. The Maiden of the Tree. Cool artwork as well. I don't know anything in the world outside the forest. I don't understand. So looking at some of the artwork is really cool there. I don't understand why this girl is crying. There's the girl in white again. Such interesting. Again, I love the designs of this stuff. I really do. They get better. Like they get better, I guess. Like as time comes on. Not because like in earlier on with the daughter of evil and stuff like that, and the story of evil, all this stuff like was bad, because they're very good too. But I feel like, you know, it focused on very particular characters. But now we're seeing more of an expanse of like all the characters in this world, and like you get to see how expansive like the actual art style is. Two different dreams, races, and yeah. And it was a beautiful relationship, by the way. A beautiful relationship. It's a very heavy, much heavier song. We're still attracted to each other, even though our differences separate us. Which is a huge part of the Lady in White here's feelings about the village she grew up in. She was like kind of ostracized because of how different she was. And to meet someone and be friends with them, you know, it's pretty cool. Even though you're different, you know? I love it, man. I love seeing like again like this whole story here. And like if I did miss out on that thing last time, like I do apologize, because obviously there's so much that happens in these videos sometimes, and that like, you know, if it was like this thing where it was a bird, like she became a bird and she was a bird, and maybe there was a symbolic nature of it, and I just thought it was like maybe only symbolic. Please let me know. Don't be afraid to correct me. A spirit became a human. So because she's a spirit, she understands. Maybe. Moving it would make you tremble, right? It's a great color. This is horrible. Whenever the two of us are together, it's all right. Knowing what's coming. No one's coming. So this is from this time it's from her perspective, the spirit, I guess, in this sense, is perspective, rather than you know, again, they have a different perspective each time, which I think is actually very cool. It's a cool way to tell a story. As long as I can tell. This is horrible! Because I know what's about to happen. I know what's about to happen. I know exactly what's about to happen. All these, again, this really cool artwork here. So this is where everything started to go really bad. Things legit started to go bad here. The audio lowered there for a second. I don't know why. Did it lower for you guys as well? Sorry. Let's skip it back a little bit. I think it just the video maybe has a weird like noise reduction or something on it. But let me know if it was my TV or the actual video itself. So the neighboring country's princess. Oh god. It's such an interesting, by the way, perspective on like how like you see, some people might see the princess, right? Like with this like darkened face, like almost like a ghost. so like it's such a sad story. Like it is like like tragic. I love you. And it's like a little, almost like a duet between the two of them, even if everyone in the world mocks and laugh at you, because that was a big part. That was a big part of it. I'll protect you. I'm protecting, like maybe like physically, but also like emotionally protecting this person. If we can reunite with each other. Back to where it started. Back to where it started. Oh my god, man. This is so, like, heartbreaking. Ooh. Again, like all these little shots is here as well. Like it's like these snapshots. Oh my god! Wait. Oh, I was like, is that it? The dark bottom of a well. Wait, hold on a second here. So much like again, I love, and I also like. I understand. I hope you understand when I say the word hate, because it's so like it's a hate that's like born from love, right? You know, when you watch a show that you really like, but like it's like, oh my god, like oh, how did this make you feel so weird? But you're so happy that you're even feeling something like that. You know what I mean? And from this, like, I always feel like a very like deep, like there's like a mixture of feelings. Like I feel like the music is fantastic, like in terms of like the rhythm of it, like, you know, and so because the lyrics are fantastic. But then like one of the things that like you get really into is like seeing the different characters' perspective. You get emotional about the sad stuff. You get angry about like the really like horrible stuff, and then like there's just, it almost feels like sometimes this world that we're in here is like super hopeless, but then there's like a glimmer of hope every single time. It's so like, you know what I mean? It's like it feels like a hopeless world. It's so weird. Oh my god! My golden-haired assassin departs somewhere. A clumsy smile is a beautiful way to describe someone. You see what I mean? Like, this stuff is freaking heartbreaking. Oh no, what do you want to tell her? What do you want to tell her? If only you could be reborn. Holy hell. What is this like? Like, again, like I feel like it's like one of the most like how what's the word for it? It's one of the most like harrowing is probably the word for it stories I've seen, because it started off like when I first watched the first one, I was like, oh, this is a fun little like Vocaloid thing. Then you're like, oh my god, what's happening? And then like it gets sadder and sadder when you see different perspectives. The more perspectives you see, like the sadder it gets. And again, it's all centered around like a lot of the stuff we've seen in this stuff is all centered around like like the same incidents kind of told like from a, you know, like, well, similar incidents in the middle part, right? Whether it be like the death of the spirit here, compared to like you know, like how you know, the Daughter of Evil saw it, like, you know, and like Len saw it, and all these characters, like, you know, I don't always like remember the names very well because obviously I'm watching it week to week with short videos, but all like these different characters see their different perspectives, right? It is Len, right away. I think it is Len. Hold on a second here. Yeah, it's Len. Len is the brother, right? Maybe not. Maybe like they don't actually have names, but like I thought like maybe that might be Len, or maybe. So it is just like a series. Yeah, but like, yeah, you see all these different perspectives. And I think what's like so interesting about that, and I won't look too into this because I don't want to get spoiled for anything. But it's always like you see like the start of someone's perspective, and then like, you know, quickly you go into like something that you know before, but then you find out something new about the character or something about the situation at hand, and it like adds more like details to each that situation. And in this case, it is like something that relates to everybody that we've seen so far, every single person's character, and that is the death of the spirit, the death of this green-haired girl. That is like, that has affected so many people's and touched so many people's lives. And you see it just from these different music videos. Thank you so much for sending in, Shallow. Yeah, like if I do miss things, please let me know, because obviously, like I'm gonna miss things. We're watching it week to week in short bursts, so obviously, like we're gonna probably miss some stuff. So please, don't hesitate to say, hey, you missed this or you missed that. You know, it's perfectly fine to let me know about that. But I think it's so harrowing. I think it's so harrowing. Like it's again, like the way I describe it is, by the way, I always say this, to never feel bad about making me feel emotions, because that's what I love about like video games, art in general. I love when I'm able to sit down, like when I cried my eyes out when I finished Persona 3 Reload, even though I finished Persona 3 so many times this year, like, you know, I'm not sitting there going like, you know, F Persona 3 Reload. I'm thinking to myself, it's incredible a game can make me feel this way. It's incredible that I'm watching this Vocaloid series, and instead of like just thinking of it as just music or whatever, like I am feeling sick at times. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling sad. Like that's incredible. It's incredible. Thank you so much for that, Shallow. And the next video is sent in by Solvix, and it is just as following last week. And this is, sometimes anime gets nicked a bit, and it gets like, sometimes you won't get like, it won't be allowed on YouTube sometimes in certain countries, but we'll see how this goes. This is Jikoku Shouju Opening 2, creditless. So this was a show that we saw last week. And basically like the last opening has showed a character, like a girl who was like rather like, I suppose, how do I say it, like not nice is probably the best way to put it. The context that I got from Solvix was that last week is a girl, it follows a villain, and it's like a nebulous morality, and that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, it is like a character who, like, it's like you can, it's almost like the protagonist that like you're not supposed to like almost, but like it's such an interesting story to have a character who is kind of like of like weird morality, because, you know, people aren't always the best people in the world. You don't always get like the nicest people in the world, and so it's always interesting to have characters that are like that. Let's check this out.
時の交わる闇より来たりてあなたの恨み晴らします
Man, cool beat to start off with. Oh, really nice, actually. Yeah, like very dark and like bitter visuals, right? But like I want to go back to this like part in the song here. It's actually really cool. This part. I like it. But yeah, like look, it's like very like dark, almost like dead, like, but like, you know, obviously like in the background at the very least. Again, like this is one of those times where you can tell like the song is like tailor-made for this, right? Obviously, like it's to the point that like they wanted to work with the vocals as well. You can see like it's singing the vocals, which is really cool. Really cool. Did you lift a rock? Did you lift a rock? Chills. That's okay. Anime intros are like one of my favorite things, and I will rewatch anime intros like 1,000,001 times. Like, can I just say like I say once a week, I will like watch like my favorite anime intros, just go all the way through them. Like, and you know, it's you know, it's a sickness. We do, like I just do it all the time. And like this to me, like when you give me chills like for your chorus, like that's a good sign to me anyway. That's a good sign. Sitting alone here as well and listening. Yeah, like singing the vocals, man, that's so cool. But it seems like just people that like, at the very least, care about her, right? I love old anime styles. I love them so much. Please, everyone, please allow me to just like bathe in old anime stylings, please. I love it. I love it so much because like again, like it's there's very serious anime nowadays. Like, and I think like you can tell your story in different ways. We talked about this several times as like we play stuff like Xenoblade, or we play stuff like maybe Xenoblade's a bad example, but we play stuff like I don't know what's a good example here, because I gave a good example a while back, but like I think a good example is like probably like something like a Yakuza, where Yakuza has a very like crazy tone to it, but you can still feel emotional about this stuff. And I feel like it's totally on you if you can't, like, you know, some people need, everyone's different. Some people need things to be extremely serious all the time. But I think one of the lost things that doesn't happen nowadays a lot with anime, and it doesn't become as popular anymore, is that back in the day, like, a lot of anime was genuinely like, you know, like it took itself so seriously to the point that like you didn't really have like many moments in animes where like characters like their eyes were going crazy and stuff like this. You had it in some, of course, but like I feel like there's a lot more like very seriously toned anime. But I feel like nowadays, like it's there's a lot more like anime like that is like I don't want to say cartoonish, because there is a lot of serious stuff now as well. Like Pluto, just released by Naoki Urasawa. You know, how can you not take Jujutsu Kaisen seriously as well? Like, you know, and I feel like you can mix in those tones if that makes sense. But I feel like there is like a drought for like anime like Pluto. That's why Pluto was so special when it came out, because it was like, oh, this is so different. It's not, how do I say, it's not like better or worse. Because like if you look at my like favorite anime list, you'll find Haikyuu on it, Mob Psycho, but you'll also find Monster and Beck on it, which like could not be more different. But I do feel like there is like a little bit of a drought for anime that's like kind of like in this tone. I feel like sometimes. Maybe I'm just not looking hard enough as well, because sometimes, you know, that can be annoying, especially if you watch so much anime and then like for me all the time when I'm on like Twitter or something and someone posts, man, games nowadays don't take risks. And it's like, bro, we just got like a Yakuza game with Majima where he's a pirate. He just got announced. Games are taking risks, you're just not playing them. You know what I mean? So maybe it is like, no, anime, like a lot of anime are like this, Calvin. You're just not watching them. And that could be it too. Thank you so much for sending this off, because that was really cool. I think that the interesting thing about this video is that like it had like a this time I saw like people that like cared. Maybe I'm wrong, but cared about the character, and like there was more focus on other characters. I love how they like interlaced like the actual you know, characters within the song, having them sing in the song, which is also really interesting too. Camera work was awesome. Well, at least the composition was awesome. Yeah, it was really cool, Solvix. Thank you so much for sending in. The next video is by Golden Witch Beatrice, and it is some Mondstat lore. So it's Mondstat characters, secrets, and I guess, yeah, I don't know what this is about, but it should be fun. Let's talk lore, shall we?
Happy 2023, everyone. So, you know how Genshin Impact has this weird and convoluted way of saying their stories? Well, today I'm going to be giving you one or two, or, you know, I don't have any self-control, secret about the Mondstat characters.
I think it's so cool. That's such a cool idea.
Know about based on their lore. The facts I'm getting are mostly from the character profiles,
Beast
voice lines, and character stories, instead of the story quests and hangouts. Since most of the time, these blocks of text are usually overlooked by players.
True.
So I feel like it's much cooler for me to just go through these ones instead. So here we go. Albedo. So Albedo actually has two interesting points of contention. One is that Albedo lists the sages of alchemy to create the magnum opus in his voice lines as Negredo, Albedo, Rubido, and Saturnitus, when the correct order, or at least the order that we know from our world, is Negredo, Albedo, Saturnitus, and then Rubido. I wonder how that would affect his studies. Albedo's lore also has a lot of references to geological time periods. The names of his two constellations are references to the Phanerozoic era, which is the current geological eon in which abundant animals and plant life has existed. Tide of Hadean is an era which the Earth was subjected to hellish conditions and created some of the earliest known rocks on the planet. His title from the drop of the wolf mobs label him as Cretaceous, which is a reference to the Cretaceous period where
this type of stuff, when you use this stuff and like they use this stuff in the game, it's stuff that like goes over my head, but then when people explain it to me, I'm like, this is so cool.
It was a very prevalent substance. Also, Albedo eats spiders.
What?
Which is a thought that you should know.
What?
Amber.
What? Okay, Albedo. Wait, part
Amber
Lewin?
is part Lewin.
There's
Her
top 5
grandfather
character in
came
Genshin,
from
one of my
Liyue
top 5
Harbor and
favorites.
was once the leader of a mercenary group tasked with protecting merchant caravans as they traversed Tivat. Another cool fact about Amber is that she is also known as the Crimson Knight according to the lore, which actually
I do want to go back to this because I feel like I missed some of that by talking, and I don't want to...
of a mercenary group tasked with protecting merchant caravans. Just a thought that you should know. Amber. Amber is part Liyuan.
I did not know
Her
that.
grandfather came from Liyue Harbor and was once the leader of a mercenary group tasked with
That's so
protecting
cool.
merchant caravans as they traversed Tivat. Another cool fact about Amber is that she is also known as the Crimson Knight according to the lore, which actually overlaps that title with the title of Klee's theme song, Let's Go Crimson Knight. So technically, if you ask who is the Crimson Knight in the Knights of Avonius, you'd legally have 2 answers. Barbara.
The part Lewin stuff is so cool. It's so cool.
I actually have 3 fun facts about Barbara.
Lovely.
The first fun fact is pretty well known. Barbara's full name is Barbara Pegg, daughter of Seamus Pegg, the fellow you see in the manga. The second one is more of a thematic analysis of her story. A cool fun fact about Barbara's career as an idol is that it's actually comparable to Sun Yan's, but the core difference is the audience that received them. Barbara's music, at first, sounded strange to the people of Mondstat.
All right.
A lot of people struggled to see the appeal. But because, unlike Liyue, Mondstadt traditions focuses heavily on freedom, people learn to accept the new while continuing
That's so
to cherish
cool.
the old. The third fun fact is that she only allows herself to be depressed for 30 seconds. Okay, I lied. There's one more
What?
fun fact about Barbara.
She's like, okay, 30 seconds and I'm done. Honestly, like, I wonder if there is something to that. But we do know that Barbara is a character that, like, you know, kind of accepts her fate sometimes, and we had to kind of like coach her into like believing that she's allowed, like, tell people to F off sometimes, you know?
It's the fact that despite being a Catalyst user in the game, Barbara actually has a level of knowledge about swordplay. That was one of the things that she wanted to surpass Jean of, but it never came to fruition. Bennett.
That would be very difficult.
Bennett is one of the fewest characters in Genshin to feature a very close death scene in their storylines. Most characters feature an aspect of their personality in which grew from tribulation, but never usually a distinct scene that they're actively in danger. Bennett's story 5 in the story of how he got his vision has themes of death. His vision story states that he almost perished through a hellish journey because of blood loss.
And
what
blood
was even more
loss?
upsetting was that he found nothing at the end of that journey. Furthermore, his character's story 5 actually ponders about the concept of death to him as an adventurer. This is because he feels that adventurers will not have weeping funerals, but instead toasts and legacies that bards will
He is
sing for
incredible.
times. His story ends bittersweetly with the strange line that he now feels death may be something fortunate to an adventurer. D-Luke.
It's so sad because Betty is like actually very, very like goes through so much hardship, nearly died of blood loss, and this game still won't give him anything. Give him something. Give him a win.
D-Luke actually has connections to an unknown underground intelligence network in which
So
he's
handsome.
a pretty reputable member of. This network was actually made up of volunteers, and many of its members had willingly given up their positions and reputations to join. The identities of other members are unknown, however. D-Luke is actually a pretty high-ranking member of this network.
Well, he's Batman,
almost
so.
the same stature and reputation as his previous position in the Knights of Avonius. Another fascinating fact was before he joined the underground intelligence network, D-Luke narrowly escaped death at the hands of the Harbingers. Diona. Diona oftentimes plays with Klee, but while she wants to destroy the Mondstat wine industry, she actually steers Klee away from the taverns in fear of the explosives and alcohol.
Oh my
I
god.
just find that really interesting since she says she doesn't want to destroy Mondstat wine industry that way. Eula. Eula has monthly
Of course, like imagine that. Okay, let's go over here. Monthly tea breaks.
to Jean. In one of her
With
character
Jean,
stories,
oh my
she
god.
marches towards Jean's office with her great sword, which causes worry to 2 recruits. However, it turns out that she's having a tea break with the acting grandmaster.
That's so cool.
Another cool fact about Eula is that Eula's use of vengeance isn't necessarily out of genuine threat or "my father will hear about this" vibes. It's actually described as a shield of some sorts, and that is a figure of speech. Eula's stern words are a form of self-preservation, referred to in her character's story 1 as a strange magic spell that seizes conflict immediately without ever having to escalate the situation. While her vengeance is a form of her want to right the wrongs of her clan, she views her attitude as nothing short of a survival mechanism. One final fact about Eula is that she's also a very great cook.
Of course. Oh, we're going to the official. Of course she is, by the way. Like, you know, she looks like she's good at everything. She looks like she's good at everything. She was able to dance there. She has tea breaks. She's a good sword fighter. She's able to cook. You know, I honestly bet if you gave her a Rubik's Cube, she would solve it in 2 seconds and be like, there you go. Vengeance has been served. You know, she's fantastic. She's such a fantastic character. But the idea she goes for tea breaks with Jean is incredible. Incredible.
Fischl. If you played the Golden Apple Archipelago with her, you already most
Perfect
likely know
character.
the secrets of Princess Fischl. Her real name is Amy, and Fischl is nothing short of a story. A cool fun fact about Fischl is her position in the Adventurers Guild. She is in charge of reconnaissance and investigation. This is mostly because of Oz being a very versatile familiar. Unlike
True.
Ito's Ushi, Amber's Bear Bunny, and Changling's Goba, Oz and Fischl connect like a true familiar master combo. Oz is almost an extension of Fischl, and
Yeah.
she is able to inspect long distances through Oz's eyes.
That's so cool.
Also, there's a book known as the Fischl Dictionary.
Yep.
Jean.
She's also like, Fischl is also a character who is like very like friendly, as we learned. We talked about that actually in the previous part of this video. She's very like she's like the type of person at a party that like will go up and talk to anybody, you know? So like getting reconnaissance is very like...
Really cute tidbit about Jean is that she loves
Easy.
romance novels, which
Heck yeah.
kinda makes the fact that she's one of the few characters that have a detailed separation in her history a little sadder. Jean's a sucker for the sentimental emotions
Same.
of romance. As for her family, we already know the names of her father and sister quite well, but her mother's real name is Frederica. She
Beautiful
also
name.
actually didn't have that close of a relationship with Barbara, and the relationship we see on screen took a substantial bit of effort. Jean was left to her mother, while Barbara was left in her father's care. When they eventually got older, Jean herself couldn't say anything when faced with Barbara's eyes. It also didn't help that Barbara, at some point in her childhood, shared some envy for Jean's abilities.
As you would.
Needless to
Jean's,
say,
you know...
the fact that now in this story they seem quite close and comfortable with each other is quite heartwarming.
It's fantastic, and I think that's one of the things that like is so special about that relationship now is that you can actually see how like there was like there is still like a separation. It's not like sisters you would see like that are always attached to the hip, but I think it's also been good for the both of them because they both like developed such a personality outside of their own families, you know.
His origins are Conrian, in which before being
Look at
taken
his
by
man.
Olympus, he was told that he was the last hope of his distant homeland. Kaya would never forget the look of both hope and hatred in his father's eyes as he uttered those words. In truth, he was an agent of Conria placed in Mondstat to serve their interests. Kaya's true allegiance is currently unknown, but what is
We know
certain
this
is
for
that he
sure.
feels a strong conflict towards the ancient plot and responsibility given to him. It was because of his conflicted resolve that caused him to confide in Diluc and eventually led to the battle that broke the relationship. Another less
We don't like to think
unsettling
about it.
fact about Kaya is that he refers to the traveler as underage in his voice lines, but whether he actually believes it is unknown. Klee. Klee's intelligence and overall life experience is a fascinating topic of consideration because of two
Funniest
factors.
character in the game,
One
easily,
is that
right?
despite her childish personality, Klee is able to make her own bombs and even has her own workshop. Klee is a gifted pyromaniac and definitely inherits her resourcefulness and borderline scientific attitude from both her mother
Yeah, she's so
Alice
inquisitive and experimental with
and her
stuff.
big brother Albedo. She even spends her time in solitary confinement thinking of new gunpowder formulas.
Yeah.
Second is that Klee is from a race gifted with longevity, as mentioned in 1.6's Golden Apple Archipelago. This puts her true life duration for consideration.
And she's telling the story through the drawing. She's so
Lisa
sweet.
was almost the captain of the 8th Company of the Knights of Avonis
Wow.
before she declined her position. The company's field officer named Nif refuted this idea and resented the possibility that an academic would come in as such a high-ranking officer.
She's so like
Needless to say, Lisa doesn't particularly care for this position.
she's so smart though, by the way. Like if you read the manga, she is like with it. She's so with it. It's not even funny. Like when all, like her and Kaya, like sniff out the conclusion to like the answers to the story like so quickly.
So when Kaya proposed a combat-based session to gauge magical proficiency, Lisa just declined the captaincy 2 minutes into the session.
That's so
Another
cool.
cool fun fact
That's
about
so cool.
Lisa is that her main curiosity as an academic are elements and visions, or more specifically, the potential cause and benefits of possessing accumulated and concentrated power. She believes that the gods would never just give something as powerful as a vision without any kind of
Or like equivalent
consequences.
exchange.
Mona. Mona
Look
hangs
at
out
her.
with Albedo and Klee, mostly to get a free meal and to share pointers with Albedo. Another cool fun fact is that Mona writes an astrology column for the Court of Fontaine's mainline newspaper known as the Steambird. It's known as All Things Astrological and was actually criticized for being too academic, though that ended up not being a problem, since readers didn't really have to get it, just that they find it interesting.
That's me with sometimes with Laura. It's like I find it interesting. I think it's also interesting that she would like, you know, be super academic when like I feel like she's incredibly smart, like one of the smartest characters in the game. But I feel like what Mona is very good at as well in conversational stuff is like, you know, she's a very like over the top character as well.
One final cool fun fact about Mona was that her vision was a gift to her rather than simply appearing like most characters. This really puts into contention how fate eventually gives visions to the characters.
Yeah.
Especially since it seems that some characters can be given masterless or unactivated visions
Right,
that
okay.
require a proper source. Noelle. Evening is the time that Noelle is the busiest, since she is the one mostly coordinating the uniform, clothes, meals, or knickknacks that the Knights of Alonius use every day. The Maids of the Knights have many red lines that are not to be crossed, and one of them is that the personal information of the Knights must be kept in strict confidence. This does not only require restricting outsider access to such information, this restriction also applies to the other members of the Knights. For example, what Jean keeps in her private quarters, the contents of Amber's Baron Bunny, the number of special eye patches that Kaya owns, the number of Klee's hidden bomb caches.
Oh my god.
These things are all top secret. To avoid leaking such information, Noelle uses red cloth to make a great many roses. In Mondstat, this flower means my lips are sealed.
That's so cool.
Razor. Most of Razor's character stories have been
What a
opened up in the
character.
latest Mondstat event quest. Razor's name card, however, is one of the few descriptions that reference other characters. His name card, Wolven Spirit, mentions Klee.
Yep.
Rosaria. Rosaria
He like
has
I think Klee mentions hanging out with him as well a few times, but like we're about to learn about Rosaria as well,
Razor's
which
name
I
card,
love.
however,
One of the
is
best character
few
designs.
descriptions that reference other characters. His name card, Wolven Spirit, mentions Klee. Rosaria. Rosaria has exceptional strength and knows the weaknesses of the human body. Rosaria is also one of the many characters under the Mondstat roster that was not born and bred in Mondstat. She's instead from a remote mountain village and was raised by bandits and crooks. Sucrose.
Which is interesting because she's like a very good character, but also like you can like she has like a very dark tone to her. She's almost like a vampire. I just love her design so
The
much.
fact about Sucrose is that as someone studying the makeup of organic life, she usually requires bones for her work. Not just common animal bones, but also a complete lizard skeleton and even a bunch of hilichurl leg bones still bearing fresh blood. She prefers bones with blood and meat still on them, so take that as you will. Another fun fact about Sucrose is that Albedo had to organize a mandatory 7-day vacation for her, which ended up being a disaster because she was so bored. She gave
Albedo.
up after one day. Venti.
She's the SpongeBob of this
While
world.
Venti has a reputation of being an Archon
We
and
love him.
therefore
We
can
love him
be
so much.
trusted in terms of knowing history, Venti has actively fabricated stories of Barbados when he gets his muse going.
And he's right.
And it's not like anyone can really prove his fake.
Yeah.
Well, at least not quick enough.
Prove him wrong.
Historians will oftentimes have to actively spend years to truly decipher Barbados' ruses.
That's so good.
This was the case when Venti forged Morax's signature by making it seem as though the aristocrats were selling off their own men to Liyue. This caused a massive
Are you
uprising and
serious?
revolt amongst the soldiers of aristocrats because they thought they were getting sold out to the neighboring nation despite their loyalty to the noble houses. Turns out the contract stating all of this was nothing short of a forgery. And now that's it for the Mondstat characters.
Venti
Just some cool fun facts about
for-
them based on their character stories. But that's it for me today. My name is Aster and thank you for chilling with me. Your regularly scheduled lore will be up and running.
Fantastic video there as well. No, like I love it that like that's a part of his like character is that like he will literally lie and it takes years of like historical like the studying to prove it wrong. Man, can you imagine having those powers? Like 5 years after your lie, you go, "Oh, yeah, you knew. Oh, yeah, I was lying." And you're like, "What? You nearly caused a whole war." Oh, that's awesome. That's super awesome. I love that. Yeah, like it's super interesting seeing all the Mondstat character lore. I think the Mondstat characters, like, if you don't mind me saying as well, like whenever I see them, I just get really emotional. Like when I see Lisa, I get super emotional because it's one of the first times we had like a full-on like story moment with a character. Like, and I remember the episode I called it a date with Lisa because it was like we went on like a date with Lisa, and it was like a really special time because you got to see like it was one of the, like those times where like while I feel like, you know, with Amber you see like a lot of aspects of her character and like eventually with Jean and Kai all this stuff like, but I feel like with Lisa what I really appreciated about the story was that they showed that like this character who is very like confident and like, you know, excuse me, I keep coughing. I can't get rid of this cough. And is really like seems very playful and is always playing around. You find out that she like keeps like half of Mondstadt running. And that's like so true for like most of the characters in this game. When you find out the truth about them, it's so interesting. Yeah, but that was really cool to see. It's really cool to see all these different facts about characters. I love the Venti facts. Also the fact that like, you know, it's like little tiny things like that Noelle has to hide the information on Clee's bombs. It's really cool. They're just such a great cast of characters. They really are. Thank you so much for sending in Golden Witch Beatrice. The next video is sent in by Minu, and it is the next one. I think it's another one of the Honeyworks videos, and this time there are English subtitles. So let's check it out. But like, I really feel like what they've done a good job with these Honeyworks songs is that like we've been able to like really understand the story just from the actual visuals itself. Captions are on. Let's go. Oh my god! What is that? What? I'll do anything I have to do without any complaints. I can tell. I can tell. Ego surfing. So ego surfing is like when you search your own name on like Twitter or something like that. The best thing to do, like obviously like you see celebrities doing it all the time, but like if you ever like become a celebrity, like don't be that person that replies when you're ego surfing, because then people know you've been ego surfing. Fall in love with me more and more. Look at that little crowd. These are all so sweet. I'll captivate you more as well. I love the little crowd jumping in. She has like the best outfits. I'll fan service you. So she's like just saying it. Hey, listen here, right? If you are my fan, right? You will enjoy being a fan. Because I think it's like what's so cool about this is that like it's oh, look at this art, look at this. I love the drawings and stuff as well. But I really feel like it's almost like not just like about like, hey, like if you're a fan of mine, like you'll be very happy to be a fan of mine. It's more like a sense of like an appreciation for that, the fact that like when she is on stage, like all those things that like do make her upset and the stuff that all the stuff she has to do and all this stuff, like it becomes worth it, because it is hard to be like an idol. We know this. I love this stuff. Look at the illustrations are so good. The colors are so good. Talking directly to the fans here. Hysteria, the scandals, but wow. So it is you're talking directly to the fans. Oh, people, oh my god, that's awful. Yeah. I almost want to raise my fist more and more, honestly. It's so good. So like, and I call it a selfish song because I really feel like again, even though it's not selfish to say this stuff. Another great outfit change. Even though it's not selfish to say this stuff, like it's like I feel like what it is, it's like hey, I'm going through like really hardships like sometimes in my lives, like, you know, there's bullying, there's, you know, the ego surfing is making me feel weird about this, but when I'm up on stage, like we have this connection. I will perform for you, you know, and you love me back, and it makes me feel good. Man, I feel like crying even though you're having so much fun. So it sounds like this is like the happiest time for her, and like everything outside of it is like, you know, and it just doesn't compare. It just does not compare. And that's her sister, by the way, who's a model. Oh, that's interesting. I need him to become stronger. Good shirt designs, by the way. By the way, like the shirt designs are so good because like these are stuff you can wear normally, like anywhere, right? Like you can wear because sometimes people like bands or like wrestling or like anime will make like shirts that that are sometimes weird, right? Like, and I find like, you know, it's mostly in wrestling. In wrestling, they'll make shirts where it's like, it's really cool to support the thing you love the most, but like, you know, it like, I also like shirts that double as like something that can just be cool on its own, even if it didn't have the actual band symbol on it, you know what I mean? So like, this is really cool. You could wear this any day and it looks freaking cool. I would wear this shirt any day. Striking love. These guys are with it. These guys are. This is the greatest day of my life. She's focused on this. Like, oh no, this is her sister. Oh my god, not her boyfriend. That's so sweet. She's like, hey, it's okay. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Very cool. Very cool stuff. And like a picture with the crowd as well afterwards too. Like I feel like one of the things that was said that was so interesting. First of all, overall, like again, these videos are so sweet and they like sometimes have such high emotions, but I think the colors are so beautiful too. But like I think one thing that's like so interesting to talk about when we're talking about like this song in particular is the fact that it's like, hey, like give me the negative feelings, give me the happy feelings, and I feel like sometimes that can be like you don't always like there's this thing on the internet where like people feel like you have to have negativity, but like really I feel like that there's a difference between negativity and criticism, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's just like the default shouldn't be always negativity, but I think what she's saying here is that like the happiness that all these words you write for me, like they're made even better by the fact that like I have all this negativity of people bullying me, people being rude to me, and people will always be jealous. People are always gonna be jealous if you do really well. People will be jealous, and I think that's definitely what's happening here with this as well. I love the sister being in the crowd. We saw the sister in the crowd last time. She's supporting her sister all the time. Yeah, these are just really fun, and like they fill me with joy and sometimes a little bit like a tinge of sadness. But I'm glad that Mona is getting through this. I really am, because it is tough. It is tough. And like that crowd loves her. That crowd loves her. Really cool stuff. Thank you so much for sending me, New. We're getting like more and more. I feel like Mona is definitely like a character who like we're getting to know more and more. And we get to know all these characters, which is really, really neat. So thank you so much for sending that in. This one is from Pauline Grint, and it is Cyno's VA singing the Super Mario Bros. Peaches song. Which I think is really, really cool.
This one is for my one and only.
Oh my god.
Love.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Tighnari.
Oh my god.
Ty, you're so cool.
No.
And with my stars, we're gonna rule.
Fantastic voice, by the way. Like, holy hell.
Ty,
what?
Understand.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna love you till
holy hell, the vocals.
Nari, nari, nari,
oh, it's like Peaches. It's like Peaches. Look at that draw on the bottom right. Oh my god, I can't believe how good the vocals are. This is so sweet though.
Alhaitham, Kave, and a Kale too. 1,000 Naranaras couldn't keep me from
oh my god!
Tighnari, at the
1,000 Naranaras. Oh my god.
Nari, 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 I love
so sweet.
oh, Tighnari, Tighnari, Tighnari.
Okay, like vocals in this, like right away.
Cool.
Incredible.
And with my stars, we're gonna rule.
I was so shocked with the vocals. We're watching it again, by the way, because I was so shocked by the vocals. The love between these two, by the way, they're so in sync as well. That bottom right picture just gets me. It's so sweet.
Alhaitham, Kave, and a Kale too. 1,000 Nara-Naras couldn't keep me from you.
It's so like, I know, like that line is so good. This line is so good. I've never seen the actual Mario movie, by the way.
Tainari, at the end of the line, I'll make you mine.
So sweet.
Nari, 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 nari,
Again, like,
nari, 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 I love you.
it's so like sincere, right? It's so sincere and beautiful. Because like, it's like, because I feel like it's like obviously different tone from how Bowser feels about Peach, right? But like I feel like it's a similar thing of like we know the voice actor for Cyno is a big jokester and like loves to joke all the time, and like, but like I think this is just so sweet because like this song was in a comedy movie, but like in this context it's so sincere and so like pretty, right? It's so sincere and so pretty that like it almost makes you super like, well, it does make you super emotional, and some of the pictures in there were really cool too. Like I really think it's sweet. I think it's super sweet that like there's fans that made this as well, you know. I genuinely love like how like the relationship is so like, again, they're so in sync. Those two characters like are so in sync. They care about each other so much. Like, again, like people can deny it, but like factually so, like there's so many things in this game where it's like the two of these people like are constantly asking each other if they're okay. Cyno literally stops the game that he is most like proficient in, that he's a favorite to win, to make sure Tighnari is okay and get him back to the Aura village. This is something that happens. These two are constantly caring about each other, and that video definitely personifies that. Thank you so much for sending in, Pauline. The next video is from Neko-san, and it is Hoyofair's God's Wrath video. Let's check it out. I don't really know what this is. Oh, start from the start again. I had to transition off there for a second. It's interesting, like the tone of this is almost like super medieval, almost. What is this? Oh, there's a well here in the middle. Is this? There's Zhongli. Oh, the animation style. Handsome, handsome man, but he's in a suit. This time it's a black suit. Yeah, it's like almost like a fire went off here or something. It seems like at least a what is that? Huh? No. No. What is that? Is this like a zombie? What the smart? Jesus Christ! Oh my god! I don't think it's dead. Is there? Oh my god! It's such a weird time, like, cause that's disgusting. Is there captions on this? Yes, there are. Oh my god! Look at this. Didn't think it was you. What does that mean? If I get rid of you. What? The music. It reminds you of like ReZero. What? Zogly, do something about this. Look at this. Look how good. Look at this. Like, what the hell? Oh my god, mercy! What even is this? That smell?
多年未曾见过如此强大且有趣的人。
又得回家洗衣服了。
Okay, that's a very sick line. Okay, Zhongli's cool in any era. Oh, that's so freaky. It's so freaky. Holy hell. Are they like eggs or are they like... Interesting. In a church? What have you done? See the color flash as well? Okay, there goes the church. The church is gone. That's so sick!
好，有点意思。这就是你的权利吗？
And Ted using like genre, like this, like freaking. The music is so good with this. Like this is from Hoyofair as well. Genshin fans are insane. They're so insane. What? The animation on this is insane. Little tricks. Oh, watch out now. Watch out now. Look at Zhongli. Zhongli's so handsome. So handsome with his like little vest top. His little suit vest. Oh, look at a kick. Fancy footwork here. And then look at the colors here as well. Like, I'm sorry, like we're going back already, but like mixed with again, like there's also this music beat that I want to hear too again. This. So good. I can't get over like this. This is like, again, this is again stuff that could be made into a full anime. You can make this into a full TV show. The visuals in this. What? You deserve it. You deserve a credits reel. A movie credit reel. This is insane. The work that the fan base puts into these pieces of work. Is beyond anything you would ever expect. Like, it's just like these freaking like, again, it's just a fight scene, right? Like, but like, I feel like, you know, just a fight scene. Like, one of the hardest things to animate, like, and there's so many little, tiny little things that made that look so freaking cool. But like, the visual style in general was awesome. I love to have like all the credits. Yeah, show all the credits here. They all deserve this. Hoyofair, I think, like, at some point is like, they have to be watching these people and like thinking that they're gonna like poach some talent. Even though I know there's nothing wrong with being an indie talent for sure, but like some of these people should be making their own shows for sure. There's so much talent in these Hoyofair stuff. Very, very cool. Very cool. Huh? And then what? Yeah, laundry day. That was such a sick line. That's just a really cool illustration to end this, right? A really cool illustration. Yeah, no, that's really, really cool. I think the Hoyofair stuff, like every time I see like any, well, not even just Hoyofair, but Genshin fan stuff, like is like, it's sometimes hard to discern how professional and how amateur it is, and like not that amateur is a bad thing, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like they both have like their different charms to them, and I think that like what happens with the Hoyofair stuff is that you have like these Genshin things that feel like they could be their own like TV shows, but also at the same time have their own like personality from the actual creator themselves. And that's like, I guess, like the kind of like not amateurs, like seems like it is an insulting word, but it's not, like, because I feel like if you're doing work, you are a professional, right? And you are an artist. So I feel like always being like amateur artist is like, so it can't, like, if you're an artist out there, let me know how you feel about that, because I don't mean to mean it like that, of course. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Like absolutely freaking sick. So sick. Thank you so much for sending in, Neko-san. The next video is sent in by Cosmic Catloaf, and it is more Scara stuff. We will never stop. Let's go. And it's called Numb Little Bug.
That's bound to break, snap my psyche like a twig, and I just wanna see if you feel the same.
So I might go back, start again, but turn off the captions just because I feel there's captions for this as well. Blood and spoiler warning. Oh my god. In a literal and like very... Oh my god. That's so true. That is legit. That is legit. Like Vaughn. Like it's like you've like so much empathy for people, but like also feeling at the same time you don't care. I'm fresh out of love, not much love left. Yes, this is so Vaughn. Oh my god. I love the art style of this as well. The quick repairs as well. Which is like just putting a band-aid over stuff because I'm just broken. Oh my god. It's, oh no, my god, it's that short as well. The idea of like quick repairs as well is very, very true to Vaughn. Like I feel like Vaughn is like a character who is like is very like prone to like getting hurt very, very often, and like, you know, and kept putting band-aids on themselves until there was like nothing else they could do. And I feel like that is, yeah, that's very much Vaughn. That's a very much Vaughn trait, to be like, here's like these quick repairs I can put on, and like hopefully like it will get me through the next couple of days. Yeah, like so cool again. So cool to see this type of stuff when it comes to our guy Vaughn. And I thank you very much, Cosmic Halo, for constantly sending in, you know, not all the time, of course. Everyone has different things they send in, but like obviously we are fresh into the Vaughn story. It's still fresh in our minds. The wounds haven't healed. We're still doing quick repairs as well, but I feel like that very much encapsulated who Vaughn is. And I thank you, Cosmic Halo, for sending in. It's always good to remind ourselves every single week, personally, because it is one of my favorite characters, so I'll never get tired of it. The next video is sent in by... Let's see. The next video is sent in by Victoria, and it is some Dottery lore. Let's check it out. Is my eyesight getting worse that I can't see the names? Who knows?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I hope you've been enjoying Sumeru as much as I have.
I have.
There's a bunch to talk about, but I'll start off with something that is sort of linked with my last video on Diluc. That is, we may have been given a backstory on Dottore. While investigating the ruins of Dahri and their connection to the Knights of the Swan, I noticed someone else had done the same thing that I was doing. That person was named Zandik, a trainee Daster of Sumeru Academia, sometime in the past.
So you've seen this name before in the Rune Golem, right?
The name Zandik is the Zoroastrian term. It can be interpreted to mean heretic, which fits Dottore quite nicely, but there's a lot more to go over that I think makes the connection pretty convincing. Let me know if you still don't believe it by the end of the video in the comments though.
Which one, Lazo?
Zandik was investigating the machines left behind by Conria, so this would have been sometime within the past 500 years, and would likely make him part of the Sharawa Darshan as they study technology. In his notes, he talks about his group's discovery of the ruin golem at the ruins of Gurabad in the desert. After discovering the ruin golem in the rainforest, he finds the key parts that were missing from the one in the desert and speculates that it may be possible to repair the machinery's automatic system, something we might have to deal with when we arrive in the desert. While investigating the ruin golem of Devontaka Mountain, he mentions this: found an organization called Schwanenritter, and its existence may be confirmed by the legend of the ruins of Dahri. Schwanenritter means knight.
Yeah,
of the
we learned
swan
this
in
last time,
German,
didn't we, as well in the other video
and
as well?
Dahri is a Persian theological term meaning atheist, which lines up pretty well with Conria and their philosophy of worshipping no gods. In his notes, he becomes secretive of his discoveries, marveling at how the mechanical parts had been created, and thinking that such things could not be created under the rule of the Archons. A member of his group, Sore, comments that though he is young and handsome, he is also too rigid, and his darshan doesn't have much in common with her darshan of Amurta, also known as biology. They have an interesting discussion on the evolution.
But I love as well that
of the
we have nothing to talk about about exploring this place together. It's pretty annoying. Like, if this is like we're saying, like, this is the Tory, like, is that what we're saying? Then like I feel like that would make sense. It's like kind of like I feel like not many people would have a lot in common with the Tory.
Plants and animals though, and decide to go on a picnic together that night. This doesn't go well for Sore, as due to Zandik acting without authorization for a third time, Sore is critically injured under the attack of Rishbalan tigers.
Jesus.
With things going from bad to worse, the group was attacked by a killing machine, which Zandik manages to subdue and wants to bring back to the academia to study and reverse engineer. This was rejected by Sage Shahnama, who even removed Zandik's name from the authors of his group's work. During this time, Sore dies and the field investigation is ended. An autopsy on her body shows that the fatal injury was a wound on her throat and suggests that she may have been strangled by someone rather than dying due to her wounds.
So freaking horrible.
This may have been Dottori's first murder, though I have a feeling it probably wasn't.
No, it definitely wasn't.
The next record shows Zandik experimenting on people who were affected by the withering near Apham Woods. He takes men, women, and children, but after the Aranara rescue the children, he takes an interest in them. Wanting to obtain a living sample to experiment on,
so creepy.
He says this:
it's so creepy.
If we put them to good use, cognition, complex
we know the Doctor has a direct
and
interest in Aranara.
Shall become controllable variables with which we can alter human individuals. As for the controllable dream, it has huge potential for both civil and military implications, and might even elevate human intelligence to a whole new level. If the plan goes well, mankind will obtain the power to conquer both reality.
Oh my god! Again, it's like this idea of like constant like progression, which isn't not good progression, and it's like he won't stop. Like even when he obtains this, he won't stop. He'll want something else.
Truly transcend the earthly boundaries we are born with. which makes me think Dottore is behind what we went through at the Sub-Zeru's festival and is working together with the corrupt sages of the Academia. His next notes are about how his subjects died in pretty gory descriptions I won't go into, except to say that his conclusion was that the withering caused unpredictable or pathological skin mutations. In the Deepwood Memories timepiece, it seems we get some more from Dottore. It talks about the cycle of life and death, with it saying, "Those souls who have been destroyed by death, memories that are eternally lost, is there a place for them in the cycle of life and death? The soul is a void concept, and memories must one day return to the land. What is there to worry about if something that was always void were to fade away?
What?
Rather, remind and support one another, such that everyone's image will be remembered forever."
Is he saying don't worry about your soul in general because it's already void?
Thus shall we defeat the natural cycle of life and death, and preserve memory forever. Rejecting the natural cycle is in line with Dottore joining the Harpingers.
Yes, so that's what it is. It's like the
reject
rejection of like what is like what is normal, what people feel is normal.
His rule and their heavenly principles. He seems to either want to resurrect or restore the memories of someone too, with the lines, "Much later, the friends who had agreed to remind one another would be infected by the wicked disease of forgetfulness. According to the image of the three people and the three spirits that had not been wholly forgotten, and the records and conjectures left behind by the mad scientist who was expelled from the Academia, the dream had to be captured, along with the inhabitants of the forest who could control dreams, to remind that friend once again of one's own form and the memories that were shared. This could be viewed as Dottore wanting to revive or see Sorei again in the dream. I don't see Dottore as the sentimental
No, not at
type,
all.
though,
Not at all.
and this is more likely him convincing the sages to use his methods in order to revive Rukkhadevata. This would mean that our experiences at the end of the 3.0 Archon quests were the result of Dottore and the sages working together, and also means they've probably captured and experimented on some of the Aranara.
I said this too. I did say this. I did believe that they did capture an experiment on Aranara. That's what I truly believed. I know like there's the evidence I was looking at was contrary at the time, but like I feel like it's something that like if he knows about the Aranara at this stage, then 100%. Like because the evidence I was looking at the time, you guys are right. I was totally contrary to what like I was saying, but I still feel like this is so true.
What this has to do with Scaramouche, I'm not sure. But if Dottore has control of the Dendronosis via the Academia, then it would probably make it easier to yoink the Electronosis from Scaramouche and stroll back into Snezhnaya with both noses, after conducting his experiments. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider leaving me a like to let me know, and subscribe if you want to know when my next video will be up. Good luck on your wishes, and I hope you have a great day.
A lot of this, like I feel like this is a really good theory video just because a lot of this was actually confirmed in the actual, the world quest for the Aranara. Like, a lot of this was actually confirmed that, like, one of the main reasons why the children were going missing in the first place was because the doctor was making this so. So the interest in the Aranara is very apparent. The interest in dreams is very apparent, but obviously, like we see as well, the desire to go out of the natural order of things, which isn't always a good thing at all. In many cases, it's not a good thing. And the first sign of someone resisting, it's a slit to the throat. Like, insane stuff with the doctor here. Like, but the idea of resurrecting Rukkhadevata, to me, like, would then, I guess, relate to the idea of creating a new god? Because it's like, okay, we can't resurrect Rukkhadevata, so let's create a new god then. Let's create and then also stealing the taking the Dendronosis as well. Which this person predicted a lot because a lot of it was like he did take the Dendronosis in the end. Very cool lore video there. Thank you so much for sending in, Victoria. This video was sent in by Zevi, and it is Nazi Tarsha Sings A Whole New World. And I feeling this is going to be absolutely sweet, just like the Cyno Tonari one as well. Let's check this out. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Do you trust me?
Oh my god.
I can show you the
Look at how sweet they look.
Shining,
I need people to understand that when no one else, when this is what we see. When you guys don't see Tonari, Tonari and Cyno, and you don't see Alhaitham and Kaveh like this. When you don't see this, what you see is just two people standing there being kind of rude to each other. This is what I see. This is exactly what I see. This is it. This is exactly what I see. I see this.
Tell me, baby girl.
Baby girl.
When did you last let your heart decide?
Baby girl.
I can open your eyes.
Yeah.
Take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world. A new past
No.
No one to tell us no, or where to
This is super sweet. It's so sweet.
Dreaming a whole new world.
It's adorable.
A dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a
and they went into like more serious drawing as well. Oh, it's almost over.
And rent's still due at the end of the month.
And that's what everyone else sees, right? This is very funny to see as well. Like, oh, the rent's still due, but they still love each other. I want to just get that one scene again with the book. It was really funny.
Tell me, baby girl.
Baby girl, by the way, as well. The Kaveh is baby girl. And this is so Kaveh as well. Hey, baby girl. And Kaveh's like, what? I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dying.
Wonder by wonder, over,
like, it's so sweet.
Under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new
This is so funny.
point of view.
So funny. Thank you so much for sending it, Zemi. Like, again, like, this is what I see. Especially with the Cyno video as well, that's what I see. When people don't see it, that's what I see. I'm just saying that right now. And thank you so much for sending it, Zemi. That was awesome. Beautiful relationship between all of them, honestly. The next video is sent in by Absurdly Odd Studios, and is Nico and the World Machine. No, sorry, that's not. Sorry, I'm bad. I'm a bad person. Guys, I cannot read today. Like, it's terrible. Like maybe I should have closer to my face. It is actually from Nightmare 444. So sorry about that, guys. I scrolled up and I didn't scroll far enough. I'm just telling you. Today, it's not reading Calvin. This is from Nightmare 444. And because Absurdly Odd Studios sent in the Deltarune video earlier. And it's from Nightmare 444. And it's We're All Falling Apart. I might actually just like leave YouTube. This is now that you finished One Shot, it's a remake. And it's hard for me. It contains spoilers. So this will contain spoilers. So just to be warned, let's check this out. Oh, we actually have to press this button as well. The transition. One Shot was an incredible game. Incredible game. Silver. Absolute silver. This game made me bawl my eyes out. Like I was like hegging it. Ah, Calamus and Lula. The Lamplighter. A character that made us feel so safe. So safe. Look at this. Oh, that's such a cool artwork as well. Cause like the eye, like again, it's the yellow phosphor, but like Nico's eyes is so important in the story, really. Like at least in the spiritual sense, you know. Nico's eyes are still so bright. Is this the end? Will this be the end of the world? So this is the world machine as well. Light is fading dim. Is there nothing left for them to hope for? And that is, there has to be a way that can be fixed. Yeah, it so fits the story, but the instructions aren't very clear. Please help me here. There must be some way for you to stay. Music is really cool as well. Again, like it feels like the very haunting music that comes along with One Shot. I'm not tame. They can't be saved. So see, all this. So it's like, again, it's more of an aggressive tone. Why bother play with the broken machine? That's hurtful. Don't despair. And then it's back and forth here as well. Though I'm scared, I will not give up. Nico's so good. Nico is so good because reality means to me more than I used to believe. Nico's such a special character. Please go now, I'm shutting down. So break this sun and leave, this is just a fantasy. And again, convincing... And the whole time, by the way, in this whole conversation, like, had the freaking sun in his hands and didn't even notice. A game that can't be won. And this is how they felt. This was a depressing moment. Like, an unintentional feeling that they had where they were, like, making the whole world, like, turn to, like, squares. Glitching the world. I can feel something's real, I believe. This is not the end, oh my friend, I'll remember this. So please, you can't give in. Feel within their hearts, I'll beat with yours. I know it hurts to bear, but still I care. This world's so much more than just a dream. And I guess like trying to convince him to, like, Nico to go on. Like, hey, go, keep going. You can still be free, the good ending might be there. And this is the moment, but the program memories, I lost them long ago. Yeah, oh my god, this is such an incredible moment in the game. Like, all just to get a good ending. It was such a good way of breaking the fourth wall, but still making it so real. This is not the end. This won't be the end of the world. I won't forget. One shot, incredible stuff. That went by. That went by so fast because again, like, it was retelling in a very incredible way, like with this music and like how it was hitting, like, and how aggressive the music got at some points as well. Like, it really was retelling like the story that was already there with One Shot, which is like, you know, it was like trying to, like, it was a confused machine that felt like it had no purpose anymore and felt like the whole world had no purpose. And felt like it couldn't help anyone in the end. It felt like all the confusion inside. And it was the confusion inside their head was destroying the world. And all it took was this one kid who everybody truly in the end believed in to save everything. Because we did a lot, but it was Nico. It was Nico who saved a lot of the stuff. That was so cool to see. That was so cool to see, Nightmare 444. Thank you so much for sending that in. An amazing game. If you haven't checked out that playthrough, you definitely can. But it was just such a fun time. To see that, it honestly was. And again, like, I think one of the things that, like, made me super emotional about that, about One Shot in general is just how, like, they told, like I said, they told the story. And you see it in this one. They told the story about good endings, bad endings, and how we as players can affect the world through our choices. And it just showed us right directly in the face, like what we do as people, like as players. You know what I mean? It's a game that like makes you kind of feel bad about stuff you do sometimes. And I feel like in this sense though, was more of a depiction of like how like. Thank you so much for sending in, Nightmare444. Yeah, an incredible game. The next video is sent in by What's Your Damage, and it's a Honkai Impact 3rd animation, Will of Hershire. Let's check it out. Jesus, what a start. What a crazy start. What is even what is even happening here? Yeah, the battle armor they have is always very cool as well, the colors, but like what is Huh? Oh, and there's like something like invisible that stopped it as well. And all these machines together, like what the hell? And there's some music put in as well. Like I was wondering like exactly what's going on in this stuff, but I feel like they do a great job of like depicting like, look at that, look at the, oh my god. We love a power walk. We love a power walk. In fact, this game is still so popular. Is there captions on this? Just so I'm not missing out on anything either. Like I'm just so mesmerized by this type of stuff as well. There is captions. Okay. Okay. So let's see this. Humans, your existence is a mistake. What the hell? Holy. So this is like, I guess, like we know, like with the Honkai lore of them trying to like, you know, test humans, but in this case it's like, hey, we'll destroy, like your existence is a mistake altogether. I am the Honkai. What the? A click of the fingers? So this lady is super powerful. What the hell is this? Okay, you're done. You're done. It's done, so. Vocals are really strong. Look all this destruction. And you're just looking out at this. Holy hell. And that's like again like the scale of this destruction. This lady is so freaking powerful, and the music just only helped her look even more powerful. Oh my. Again, like I don't know much like obviously about Honkai in general, but like what I do know is that like I really feel like it's like super impressive, like the art style, the colors, but then like they show me something that's like literally there, but that was like destruction on a level that is unheard of from one person, from one character. Like, and we've seen that in Honkai before, like how like it's able to do this, like it just does some of the craziest stuff with its game and its animations and things like this. It's actually so impressive. Thank you so much for sending in What's Your Damage. Honkai is like, I can't wait to like actually like see more of this stuff, because like every single time it's something that blows my mind. It really does blow my mind, whether it's music or visuals or whatever. It just blows my mind. The next video is sent in by Deathtrap, and it's Genshin Impact Hoyofair. Times have changed. Let's check it out. And they said it's Genshin Impact new game mode leaked.
So tired. Oh, come on. It's just some commissions.
Oh, it's just some commissions? What is Paimon stuffing her face for? Of course. Paimon, you eat as much as you want.
Jumped on mushrooms for an hour straight, while you napped on
No,
your
Paimon
tree
does
the
everything.
entire time.
Here, drink this.
I accidentally ordered it, but it's super energizing.
What did you drink? Is it coffee? Wait, what?
Huh? I don't remember ordering this outfit.
What do you... What, a gun? We got guns now? Okay, you knew how to use that. Yeah, you knew how to use that. Oh, is that Hilly Churls in the crowd as well? No!
Our contestant is ready. The gauntlet shall now begin.
Wait, Gauntlet? What's happening?
What the hell? Oh, you can say that again. You can say that. I mean, there's official watching and all the characters watching. What, you're just okay with this?
Correct. Survive this gauntlet.
This is insane. But like, you could actually like it's presented like as a joke, but at the same time, like, you could actually imagine it being like its own show or its own game. Is that actually Lumine's voice actor, by the way, as well? Again, I'm not around Lumine enough to really know. Like, I could tell Zach's voice from, like, you know, like usually a mile away. So sick. Okay. But then again, like, the Traveler, like, when you give them the chance, have some of the coolest movements you've ever seen in your life. With the Paimon popcorn. Oh yeah, the peace sign. Slapping the... Okay. Back fist. Again, like, it's so weird because, like, while this is, like, so cool to see as well, like, it's not unbelievable because we know the Traveler can, like, move, like, crazy when they need to. Like, crazy. It's just... It's really good animation, though. Look at this. Okay. Yeah, but you're like freaking special agent now. Ganyu's watching on.
Where's the blood drop just went through?
No shield for you.
Oh yeah, freaking RPG. Again, like the music as well, it feels like it could be its own freaking game. Go on, Fischl. Of course it's Fischl. Could you imagine like an RPG, like they actually did a game mode like this? Like if the game mode they did for this was actually like let's add guns to Genshin. Holy hell. And the purpleness of the gun as well is so cool. Jesus Christ. And that's gonna break, yeah, of course it is. Dead zone. Do you like, there's something so cool about, by the way, like having like ammunition on your leg and like having guns in your leg. It's like always a cool look. Jill Valentine vibes, you know? Benny! The music's so good. What the hell? The music's so good. Is that a rifle? Say thanks to Benny as well. Of course, Benny doesn't get thanks. Well, it's like a sawed off. That is so cool. Did like even like the facial expressions are so neat in this too. I like it. The music is like okay. It's like I'm playing an RPG here. I'm like it's like have you heard about this new RPG? It's too sick for its own good. And then Benny's move with the buff. Very sick. What's the prize? Oh, Primo Gems? What? What? No, this is a dream. Yeah, of course it's a dream, but like... It's Paimon, right? Yeah.
Oh, thank goodness. You went out like a light after you drank that coffee.
What? Where's my Primo Gems?
Primo Gems?
This is very good.
What Primo Gems? Did you have a dream, traveler? my Primo Gems.
Oh, this is every Genshin fan.
It's okay, it's okay. Paimon's here. I'll give you back massages and treat you to some good food.
Oh, there's the bullet. Yeah, no, very, very cool. I think like again, like what happened with that was like it's just like a really cool animation style. Like so much work put into it, like making, and again, like the Traveler like looks cool when they need to look cool, but like they looked really, really cool there. Like I'm still so shocked and amazed by all the stuff that like the Genshin community are really able to do. They're really fantastic. They really are. Thank you so much for sending in, Death Trap. I was like smiling from ear to ear for the whole thing. It was really, really cool. The next video is sent in by Malcolm Condé. While it has its dedicated fanbase, I feel like Wuthering Waves fell out of the spotlight as quickly as it released. That really mirrors exactly what happened with the Tower of Fantasy, which was the first real Genshin competitor, and that had the same loss of popularity shortly after release, even though it had so much potential, and IMO was very fun. It happens a lot, by the way, where like things that become competitors tend to not like stack up to like the ones that are already the big dogs. Like you saw it with Pal World already like fell off as well. It's really hard to like, the market leader is really hard to knock off the pedestal. It really is. So let's check this out. It's what is Tower Fantasy, which I have no idea.
Welcome back to another episode of What is MMO, a series where we take a look at brand new upcoming MMOs and discuss not only the pros, but also the cons of every title on the horizon, while simultaneously exploring whether or not we should be eagerly anticipating the game. Today, we are going to be discussing Tower of Fantasy, a cross-platform sci-fi anime MMORPG from Hada Studio that many players have claimed looks and feels a lot like Genshin Impact.
Right, okay.
If Genshin Impact were an MMO. And while there are some people,
These outfits are like the style is really cool. At least the pants here.
It really is.
Yeah, because
if you want to stay up to date with all these upcoming MMO releases, scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and follow our new What Is MMO series. So, I am quite the avid anime fan. I have watched hundreds of anime series over the years, with some of my favorites consisting of Code Geass, Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, and Fullmetal Alchemist
perfect show
Brotherhood.
is Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay. I'd say
and
stop.
Now that you have all relived what is arguably one of the most disturbing scenes in the entire history of both anime and manga, we can continue. Tower of Fantasy is right up my alley. This is an anime MMO that genuinely looks and feels like an anime game. The graphical aesthetic looks and feels absolutely fantastic.
Looks pretty good.
The environments are all large and filled with personality. The character models look like they were ripped right out of an anime series. Speaking of, this wouldn't really be an MMO without layers of customization, right? Well, Tower of Fantasy offers quite a sizable number of customization options when creating your character, more than most anime MMOs actually do. I've found that anime games offer some of the least creative character choices out of any subgenre, yet anime series themselves are so creative in the stories that they tell.
Am I gonna be an arse and say that like that's not entirely true? While it's true for some games, like, you know, that they don't have like all, because like, a lot of Japanese RPGs are to do, and anime games have to do with like, you know, following one singular character. The games I have played that you can create people, there is like a very cool wide variety of creating stuff as well. Like, and also like I feel like, from my opinion, when it comes to anime, personally, anime games, I don't want my anime characters to just be like, look like they're entirely ripped out of anime. I want them to have their own specific style all the time.
Our contrast. The world is bright and
so
vibrant.
cool. Look at this.
Your abilities are all flashy and impactful, albeit not everyone will appreciate that, as some complaints that I've heard about Final Fantasy XIV and even Black Desert Online is that there are just too many effects going on at any given time.
I can understand
not only
that.
obscures some of the gameplay, which in turn inhibits your ability to actively see what is going on, but it can at times also be very overwhelming.
No, I can get, you know, 100%, 100%.
Speaking of abilities and effects, I guess that is going to lead
and the TV show, there's too much stuff going on the screen as well. It's hard as well.
In Tower of Fantasy
this looks so cool.
100% action. You're required to aim your abilities entirely and are given no aim assistance from what I've seen personally.
I want to say as well, like, I feel like I was correcting this person at the start of this, but like really, like, they are right in saying that like a lot of anime games are like based on like a singular character that like you follow. It's not always a custom character
in action, but I've seen enough weapon types actively engaging enemies that it would be weird to have one or two that don't. There are a significant number of different weapons, each with their own unique combat styles, strengths, and weaknesses available for players. The world itself is large, with plenty to see and plenty to explore. The game provides environmental interaction, which isn't really something that is typically seen within the MMO genre. As an example here, there are plenty of games out there, the Assassin's Creed games, Mortals Phoenix Rising, Breath of the Wild, even Genshin Impact. These are games that provide you a lot of world interaction, whereas normal
this looks
MMOs,
so cool though.
They just don't. You move pretty much horizontally across the world. Occasionally you'll encounter a game that allows for flying mounts, but that's the only way to essentially get higher in terms of terrain level. Now, players in Tower of Fantasy are capable of climbing any wall, any cliff,
like
or
Genshin.
mountain. They can scale objects both large and small to reach areas that you wouldn't
the
otherwise
aesthetic and
be
style of this
capable
is
of
incredible.
reaching. This
It looks really
provides a
good.
new sense of depth to not only the exploration aspect of the game, but also to the utilizing of terrain to your advantage, both within PvE encounters and PvP. While I'm uncertain to the degree that dungeons and/or raids are going to be available, the PvP is something that, while they haven't touched on verbally, they have shown off in 2 separate trailers thus far. Utilizing terrain to your advantage is going to be a crucial part of gaining the upper hand over your opponents and ultimately assuring victory. And given the type of combat that we've seen, players with good reflexes and a good sense of their environment are going to flourish. There are plans to provide a variety of different methods of transportation, either when the game inevitably launches or somewhere down the development line, with promises of things like hoverboards, jetpacks, and various different types of land and aerial mounts to earn and obtain, and probably buy as well. well. There appears to also be a type of narrative present that is going to propel you through the game. It is only in Chinese presently,
Right,
so it's difficult to
okay.
really
Okay, that is
ascertain
difficult.
any type of meaningful information from it. Speaking of the language, Tower of Fantasy is a Chinese MMO.
Yeah.
This might turn some of you away due to the fact that they're typically known to either be pay to win or heavy on the grind. However, Korean MMOs are equally, if not even more,
The creation suite actually is very cool here. I noticed it's actually very cool here with the different outfits and everything.
And they are some of the most popular games in the world. Again, as the game is only in Chinese, we can be certain that the game will be a little ways off releasing outside of its country of origin. There is no scheduled release date for Tower of Fantasy right at this moment, but it is expected somewhere in 2022. It's doubtful that we will be capable of playing this without at least a translation.
Yeah, that is
VPN, but I'm hopeful
that of course
we
is a
will
big
get
drawback because a lot of people and I say the same thing about JRPGs, by the way. Like, and a lot of people look like, and it's not even just like with the translation aspect of it, like, and here's the thing: I play like Yakuza in full sub. I played in sub, but it's like it's no surprise that game started getting way more popular and selling millions of copies when they had a dub added to it. I know it's a horrible thing to think about, but that's what it is. That's what happened when when a wider audience was like, I'll pick it up now, you know, it's. They'd still be fantastic games, but the Persona series would not be as popular if it wasn't so fully translated. You know what I mean?
The game sometime soon nonetheless. It's also worth noting that there was a beta test that took place recently. However, there are no upcoming beta tests planned on the horizon. Tower of Fantasy has a gorgeous anime-inspired world. It has some smooth, impactful looking combat animations. Being cross-platform compatible means that the player base has the potential to be several times larger than it otherwise would have been if it were a PC exclusive. There's also plenty of customization, both in terms of your physical appearance and your combat style in game. However, I haven't seen much in terms of build customization. Since it is going to be cross-platform compatible, it means that mechanically the game might be limited as it will have to function on mobile devices.
There you go again,
as well.
yeah.
World PvP is definitely not for everyone, and while I'm not saying that open world PvP is going to be a thing, because again, open world PvP wasn't really confirmed or discussed really, as a matter of fact, the trailers did make it look as though there was the potential for non-instanced PvP. Maybe that just means duels, I don't know. This is a Chinese MMO, which leaves the potential for pay to win. This game is still at least a year off releasing as well, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to get access to future beta tests. Ultimately, Tower of Fantasy has been one of my most anticipated MMOs for the last year. It looks gorgeous.
It looks
plays
super good.
Incredibly well.
Yeah, it looks super good.
You can customize some seriously sick looking anime characters in game, and the combat looks like a whole lot of fun. The only competition Tower of Fantasy will likely have to deal with is Blue Protocol, but Blue Protocol is going to be a PC exclusive, or if Bandai Namco decide to, will be a PC and console cross-platform MMO, so I highly doubt they're necessarily going to invade one another's player bases. At the end of the day, this is what Genshin Impact could have been if it were an MMO, like we were all hoping it was.
But I think he's coming at this from the perspective of his community. Like, obviously, like for me, like I would not want Genshin to be an MMO. I love Genshin as is, and like I'm not a massive fan of MMOs, but this like absolutely looks fantastic. I think he's 100% right, by the way, when it comes to like the idea of like looks beautiful, like the systems look awesome, like it has a great visual style, great custom character creation, all this stuff. But the thing that's going to hold it back the most in the end, like he said, is the fact that it isn't fully translated and it's going to be like on mobile. While there's nothing wrong with mobile games, it's like the reason why Genshin got so popular is because of how like it's on like, and now it's coming on Xbox as well, but it's on PlayStation, it's on PC, it's on mobile. It like, and that's where like PC, mobile, and PS5 and PlayStation is where like most of like RPG and JRPG fans are. So of course they would have picked up this game and absolutely got into it so crazy, and it's such a wide player base as well, especially with the PS4 selling like hundreds of millions of systems. It makes sense that it sold so well. But yeah, that makes perfect sense. This video makes more than perfect sense. It just looked really good though. That's the thing. Like this whole visual aspect of this thing looked really freaking cool. Like I really thought it looked beautiful. Like, and the character designs look really cool as well. Yeah. So like it's sad that it kind of fell off, I guess, because this was 3 years ago, and I wonder if it's gotten onto console yet. I wonder. Maybe not. Maybe so. Maybe not. But thank you so much for sending, Malcolm. It's always interesting to see games like this, especially games that like you probably know would be definitely up in my style and up my alley. The next video is sent in by Felicious Felix, and it is the Moonlit Bamboo Forest. Let's check this out. It's a sequel to the one we've seen before, but it was a while back when we saw it. Beautiful, beautiful style that comes along with this though as well. It's a beautiful style. Like, I love the art style of this.
The village looks so small from here. So long, everyone.
Great
Sorry,
character design as
but I
well.
can't just stay in this boring village forever.
The forest is full of
Love
monsters.
it. Love it.
Wicked foxes.
So we saw this part before, right? We saw this aspect.
Turning them into trams.
Yeah.
Beware.
I love this style of this character.
There are also who a spirit who fought beside our Geolord.
And now lurk in the deepest springs.
The village elders and their superstitions. I heard the Geolord is a dragon. Why would he need horses to help him? I'm done with their nonsense.
Great voice acting as well. The voice acting, like any character, I said it before, any character talks like this is for me.
The wonders of the world
I love it.
itself. So much to discover. And if I'm lucky, I might even meet the Geolord himself. What do you say?
Yeah, and definitely meeting all the foxes as well.
Huh?
Like right up my alley with stories as well, as you guys know.
What?
Music is so freaking interesting too. Again, it reminds you of like The Cat Returns.
Foxes? No way.
That's a good soul, by the way, just accepting of this, because I don't know if I could, man. You know? Because, you know, like, it's like, just like, so I guess like an adventurous soul is probably a better thing to say. Colors are beautiful. I think this is close to where we saw it last time. I think they made up, but yeah, this is where it ended last time.
Are you lost? If it isn't another fool.
Hey! Who are you? And I'm no fool, I'll have you know. I'm heading to Leeway Harbor to be a great sailor.
An explorer. How fascinating.
That's right. And I'll travel across the seas.
So
and
sweet.
Yet here you are at the start of your journey and already lost.
I'm not lost. I'm just... this way?
A little bit lost. A little bit lost. It's okay.
There's no shame in not
100%. Look at this art style. It's so good.
I can walk by
No,
myself.
take the help. Take the help. Yeah, it's okay. You know? You have a godlike person, you know, following you like a spirit. Let it happen. Look at that. This character's adorable.
Is it nighttime already?
Traveling in what? Oh my god. Look at the colors, yeah.
It's getting dark, isn't it?
Oh no. Keep your head forward. Keep your head forward.
The forest is
I didn't quite catch the name.
They masquerade as guides to ensnare lost travelers and lead them to their doom.
Miss?
And like she's just not reacting. Oh, the holding of the hand, but like it's transparent?
Beware, monsters.
Oh no.
What's the matter?
No, I thought this was gonna be really nice, Spirit.
Oh, night has fallen.
Wait, what happened there?
I know somewhere we can rest.
What happened there?
Not far from here. So, you coming?
What happened? It's gorgeous. Holy hell, it's gorgeous.
Would you like to hear a story?
If it's another children's story, I'll pass. Thanks.
Oh, this story goes beyond that. An ancient legend, untold to most. A tale lost to time.
Look at the glistening of the water, man.
Huh?
Long ago, there were 3 radiant moons in the night sky. These 3 moons were sisters, born long before this land was known.
Are we getting
as
lore?
Liyue. Daughters of poetry and song.
The Moon
three of them
Sisters?
took turns to rule over the moonlit night.
It's gorgeous. Holy hell.
Every 10 days, one would be anointed queen of the night and ride the heavens atop their silver
It's
carriage.
freaking gorgeous.
Then, as each night drew to a close, the queen would alight at the palace of the stars to greet their one true love.
Who made this, by the way? It's like so pretty. It's like a freaking like again, like I always say this, like a magical movie that would have stuck with me as a kid forever. That you'd be dreaming about forever.
However, the
Look at
embrace
this.
of night and day is ever so fleeting, leaving but a few moments with her beloved. As cruel dawn broke, the queen of the night would flee, her high carriage streaking across the sky. But their peaceful reign suddenly stopped, as a great cataclysm came upon their celestial realm.
So
ravaging the
I
earth
can't get
and
over how
tearing
good the colors are
heavens
here.
loose.
And like he's like visualizing this whole
In time,
story.
The queen's carriage was overturned, and the palace of the stars destroyed. Throttled by sorrow, without a throne to rule over, the 3 of them had to bid farewell.
Okay, yeah, that's my face too. That's my face too. That's my face too.
From their death, only one
Oh my
pale
God.
corpse now remains, ever radiating its cold light.
Even the darkest of wolves have
It is said
this
that
beautiful
wolves
color.
are the children of the moons. Only they remember the tragedies of the past. And with each new moon, they lament the fate of their mothers.
To me, again, this feels like an official movie or something. It feels like something that everyone talks about for a while. They're like, "Hey, did you see this? It's freaking glorious." Holy hell. Hugging into the horse. Again, like, probably a lot of freaking, like, worry here, but again, all a vision.
So, were you lost?
Oh, wait, we're back here?
The story. It's so different from the ones the elders
Yeah.
told. It felt as if... It felt real.
Well, the ancient tales are like distant memories, As time goes, they are simply forgotten, as if they never happened. But yet, dim as they may
Yes.
be, they can still illuminate the path
Ooh.
ahead.
Oh my god. And that's freaking leeway. It is. The inn.
Maybe if we help these stories travel, they can live on.
What a depiction! Yes, what a depiction of leeway, and that's like what kind of like Zhang Li wants as well. This character's adorable. This character's absolutely adorable.
Although, we are all bound to forget them eventually.
Even you.
Is it this way? The Liyue Harbor?
You have no idea, kid. I'm gonna cry. Thinking about going to Leeway for the first time. Such a special experience. This is a 10 out of 10. This animation was absolutely incredible. Oh my god, look who's growing older, stop that! Holy F.
I still don't know who you...
I don't think you ever will. This was magical. It's so magical. And like the music feels so freaking like listen to that. I don't know how to describe it. I'm like overcome with emotions watching this. This was incredible. Incredible. And back to this Saul here, but I think she might have disappeared. She mentioned that even she'll forget everything that happened eventually. No, this is David. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And it's produced by Hoyofair, by the way. The Hoyofair is incredible. That was like, I need to see a movie of this. I need to see a movie of this. And all the credit, they deserve their credits because that was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely beautiful in every single way. And I actually went back to them singing A Whole New World, which I think is absolutely fantastic. You do what you need to do. So good. So good. I think what's so beautiful about that is just like the absolute beautiful animation. Like the animation itself is just like, it sells so well because it feels like something that like I said, it feels like something that I saw as a kid. And that's a lot of Sumeru, by the way. Something I saw as a kid. And like forever, it's like in your dreams forever. Like it's I don't know how to describe it. Like the colors are so like chalky in a way. Like, and the style is very chalky. It's almost like someone did like pastels almost in a way as well. But this character is so adorable too. And the story that they're telling as well is really beautiful. And the way they depicted it with all the colors and all the beautiful animation just was fantastic. Thank you so much for showing that, Felix. It was so freaking neat. Like so neat. The last video is sent in by I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Sue me, please. And I mean that not in a way of like, oh, so sue me. I mean it like, you know, it's time to start all you patrons need to start a class action lawsuit. He got all our names wrong. Gionave, a lovely name if I am pronouncing it right. It's probably even lovelier the way you pronounce it. This video is called ED Stories of You Genshin Impact Hoyofair 2023. Let's check it out. Exactly. Oh my god, this Mika. Oh my god, this is gonna be so nice. It's Kaya and Rosaria. Look at all these Mondstat's characters, man. Mondstat's characters. I mean, every lad. Official. Official, obviously being like the theater kid she is, talking over people like that. Not in a rude way. Literally talking over them. Oh, Benji and Devalin. This is so pretty. This is so pretty. It's kind of making me like really sad. Oh, there's Hu Tao. Oh my god, if Hu Tao, I said this in the Patreon chats, and the Patreon, anyone who's a patron could like talk about that conversation we had. I said if Hu Tao ever shows up on the banner, I will go nuts. I will go nuts. Oh, is he showing Shanyun? There's Baiju. Oh. Gigi always breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Okay, Chingu, we're leveling up now. Oh my god, Ningguang, you look fantastic. And there's Yelan as well. There he is. Main character. The main character of Genshin. Holy hell. This is making me feel so many things. You know what I mean? How we're like so, there's Sayu, how we're like so, you know, we're moving on soon to Fontaine, and I'm feeling it, man. I'm feeling it. Oh, remember the, like, how many amazing characters have you met? That is a, how do I say it? That's like a serving C version I've ever seen of Goru. That is serving so much C. Look at this. Look at that. Oh, Kokomi. Yai Miko as well. Oh my god. Sada. Like, this just makes me feel so sad. Like, I'm happy at the same time I met them, but like, Haizo, everyone says get him out of the cage. Kazuha, another Genshin main character. With the cat as well. Oh look, it's the Subaru crew. Double date. Where's Kale? We just met Leyland. Oh, of course with them, with her grandmother. Oh, of course, and then helping people in the desert as well, as it should have been a long time ago. Of course, there's Vaughn. I'm smiling, but I went from being feeling sad to like feeling like I'm smiling from each ear because it's kind of like, her child. Because it's like, you know, it's like while it's sad, it's also like I'm happy I met everyone, you know? I'm happy I met every single character in this game. We going into something here? Holy hell. Tevat is beautiful. Beautiful stuff with the lantern right stuff as well. Oh my god, Yabiko, you live in the most beautiful place ever. Yeah, this is glorious. This is so nice to see. Especially when we're moving on so soon to Fontaine. Oh, I remember seeing this I remember seeing every place in this freaking place in this game for the first time. Just a shocking feeling over and over again, all the time. Such a special game. Top 5 favorite games all time. And the Aranara. There's Paimon! So pretty. So pretty. Yeah, no, it's just, I really feel like the emotions I'm feeling right now are like, it went from feeling like really sad to being like, no, this is uplifting. Look at all the people that we've met so far, you know? The glorious people we've met so far. These adventurers. Oh, look, there's, yeah, they showed it. These two. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me. Yeah, remember this mission as well. Oh my god, the chasm. There's Gobu. Yeah, Gobu, you cook whatever you want. They're smiling because Goku can cook, canonically. There's Shanyo, who we will be talking to very soon, actually. Still haven't gotten to meet her. Characters from the past as well. Oh my god, no. Okay, we're back to feeling sad. With a bit of Tepe. No, not the two Odis. What a story. Genshin has like too much story, like that is too good, you know? And that's not a bad thing, by the way. I just think that, like, you know, save some like fantastic characters and stories for the rest of us, you know? Everyone has like the best stories possible, you know? No. No, I saw it there. No! You monster! Absolute monsters. And the music as well when you start the game up. Is that like a depiction of Rukkhadevata and King Deshret? That's really neat. The way they did this was fantastic because we were here. Absolutely fantastic. Because you were here. And that's like so Genshin, right? It's like because you were here, it's like that's like such a great depiction of like all these characters here like this, and like I like the reason that you're here is like, hey, it's because you were here. Beautiful. I love reminiscing about like, especially since we're moving on very soon, it's very cool to reminisce about that stuff. It really is. And I thank you for sending in, and I also thank everyone for sending in their videos today, and that was a great way to end the video. And I want to thank the Never Can Repay the Baby Gangster on Patreon, Tyfire2, Jamie Bull, Janet the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicitas Felix, Ewald, Radish, Anusa, Shabbatterbed, Malcolm Day, Death Trap, and Lynx Markey. And guys, I will say that obviously you notice these videos get a bit longer. I usually record them in a day, but then usually at a day turnover. That might be changed in the future. I'm so glad of all the support and all the new patrons that have come in the past while. We've got so many new patrons and so many submissions, and it's a good thing. So we might move the Day of Rome Reacts to Wednesday. And you'll get a note about that in the community note if that's the case. I thank you so much, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye-bye.